Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another Storytime episode with the Scaryish podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grays, and this is Adam Diaz. And
Hello.
We're gonna read you guys some stories, I guess, today.
Indeed we are. I'm pretty excited because the stories that we're going to be reading are your stories, so thank you so much to everyone who sent them. We really appreciate you. Shout out to Carly, who just subscribed for the
Thank you
ninth
so much.
month using your Amazon Prime membership that's been linked to your Twitch. Anyone who has Amazon Prime, you have free $5 redues that you can give to anyone once a month on Twitch. Shout out to Cat Beatrix, who just subscribed
Thank
for
you
the
so
fourth
much.
month, also using Prime. Basically, this is free money that Amazon says, hey, you can give this out if you want to. Otherwise, we're going to keep it. So we really appreciate you giving us Amazon's money. It means a lot to us. But back to the show, we're going to read your stories, and we call those Homegrown Horrors. Now, Robin, what's a Homegrown Horror?
So, Homegrown Horrors are the awesome, supernatural, paranormal, spiritual, sleep paralysis, sleepwalking, premonition stories of you, your friends, your family. So if you guys have anybody in your lives that might have some interesting stories, go ahead and ask them and send them to us so we can read them back to you.
Or tell them to start listening to the podcast, and then they can send them themselves, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting to see these things come in from all around the world, because we really do get them from all around the world, and to see like not just the different things that happen to people all around the world, but the similar things that happen. So it's always a really fun time to read these. And before we go any further, I just want to remind everyone, if you want to watch us read these live, you can. 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays, which is what time it is right meow, kind of. And you can watch us at twitch.tv/Scaryish Podcast or youtube.com/Scaryish. And thank you to everyone who has joined us live. We appreciate every single one of you. And I think I'm actually going to wind up starting this week.
Cool.
So I'm just going to jump right into the first story. And the subject is can read on podcast, which is a pretty solid subject to have. That way we don't have to try and have someone like sift through it to see whether or not it's a private one that we need to reply to immediately. Because sometimes you guys send us those and we do want to respond to you. And that's totally cool too. If you have something you want to talk to us about, please feel free to do so. We actually just got one. It just popped up on my screen. So yeah, we just got a website submission. So thank you so much for sending that to us. But I'm going to get into this email. It starts out like this. Hello, Adam, Robin,
Hello.
and Scaryish friends.
Oh, hello.
Hello. All the Scaryish friends now say hello as well. And no matter where you're at, just yell it out loud and make yourself look like a crazy person. It's Scarlett again. I just listened to my first email that I sent to you. I'm not that good with anything social, so when I heard my email, my heart was beating so fast. I understand the feeling. I feel that way every time I see Robin. I just want to say that you guys, because I'm afraid she's going to beat me. I just want to say that you guys are relatable and funny. You're welcome, Adam. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I think it's funny because it's like, obviously Robin is, but Adam, I guess I'll give that to you. Anyway, I was able to get a replacement demon away jewelry thing. I remember Scarlett's first story was about an object that like prevented things from happening, and then they eventually lost it. I think it might have been tied into their grandmother or their grandfather. I'm not sure. I'll have to look back on it, and hopefully it tells us. Yeah, there you go. My grandmother gave me earrings, and the reason it's like a demon away thing is because my grandmother is very religious, and knowing that I have something that she gave me kind of protects me. Totally understand that. And now I have a fan, so this way the demons can't make me suffer in the heat. I suggest everyone has a fan and has it on them at all times. Anyway, earlier this week I was in study hall, and the lights were acting weird. I guess. We had a blackout for a little while, and lights were flickering, and it was really creepy. It was kind of an eerie feeling. So this group of friends I was with, and then in parentheses it says, not the other group of friends from my second email, because I kind of separated from them, not because of the story that I sent, just because they were fake and sometimes use me just because I'm known to be one of the smartest people in the class.
Wow.
Modest a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, people will use you.
Horn. Toot, toot.
Be aware of that in life. People will use you, and it's totally, you're okay to separate from people that are toxic. They just use me for answers and things like that, which I'm pretty sure if you do things like that, you'll get kicked out of school, but they haven't yet. Unless they like get straight up caught, they probably won't get kicked out of school. And in most cases, people are just like slapped on the wrist and given an F on whatever they were caught cheating at. I have so many people I know that cheated like everything they ever did.
We just played like a game of
Never Have I Ever.
And
but it's like the card game that you buy at like Target,
yeah,
so it's like the
like
G-rated version.
Right. But
one of the cards was
have you ever cheated?
Have you ever cheated on a test? And the other one was like, have you ever seen an R-rated movie?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is getting really intense.
Like, yeah, R-rated movies.
But yeah, I was just like, cheating on a test? Yup. Don't ask me. The email goes on. Anyway, so the lights were flickering, and I said, I guess Satan's come to take me away back to hell where I belong. Me and him, friends forever.
Wow.
A couple seconds later, the lights magically turned on and stayed on. I was like, well, not even Satan wants to be friends with me, and a crying face. Probably shouldn't be friends with Satan, but still. I hope you like my scary/funny story. I hope you have a lovely day. I love you guys. Keep doing what you do. Listen to you guys makes me really happy, and I appreciate how you guys are great at all, or at least trying to be. Bye.
Oh,
thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
From what I've learned from Lucifer, Lucifer is not a bad guy.
Do not advocate for the devil on our show.
But that
is a work of fiction.
I love that show. It's pretty cute.
It is an okay show
super
at
campy.
best.
It is super campy and it's super cute. But I love Tom Ellis.
I really like Tom Ellis.
The show has Lucifer be not such a bad guy. Like, he's trying to, fight with himself. Like, is he evil? Is he not evil? Did his dad make him evil? Like,
realistically, the idea of Lucifer having more depth than just being, like, the sum of all evil makes sense, especially since, like, he's supposed to deceive people and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, there's a lot of room for story. It's just because it's on Fox and it's super, super cheesy because it's, like, cable.
Well, it's on Netflix now.
Or not cable, a network show. Yeah, you're right. It is on Netflix now. I hope he drops a few F-bombs and things get a little bit more adult.
We'll see, because I haven't gotten to season 4 yet. That's the only Netflix season, so.
We'll see what happens with it.
We'll find out. This has been the fucking, Netflix corner or something.
This is the Lucifer corner.
Anyway.
I think it's funny, though, because they bring this up, and there's so many times where people do stuff like this, and, like, randomly and coincidentally, and this is kind of what we talk about when we say coincidental emails, where something happens as if in response to what you're doing, and you kind of know you didn't really affect it. You just had really good timing. But in situations like this, you're like, oh, here's the devil come to take me home. And the lights turn on. You're like, oh, well, fuck me, I guess. Never mind.
Well, it's like you were saying the time you guys were playing with the Ouija board, and then the radio just happened to be static. It could have been anything.
Do I think demons showed up? Not really. But just in case, we put that Ouija board away, and I'm never going to mess with it again. Just saying. So
we actually went to a psychic shop.
We did.
This past weekend.
Something was calling me there.
Are you being sarcastic?
Yeah, obviously. Okay. We were waiting for 45 minutes to get into Hot and Juicy.
Yeah, we were waiting for a restaurant reservation. And so we walked to this psychic shop, and it was actually surprisingly interesting. And
I wasn't that surprised. I figured they'd have really cool shit in there, and they did.
Well, I mean, I've never actually gone in one before.
Oh, okay.
So it was interesting for me. And they had a whole bunch of different wind chimes. They had this really cool...
They had a $650 set of wind chimes.
It was giant.
They were basically...
as tall as this room.
It was an organ with, like, out the piano set up to it. And, like, when we rung it... It
reverberated for
What
minutes.
did you say it sounded like?
I don't know.
A gong. You said it sounded like a gong. But, I mean, they had the normal stuff that a spiritual shop will have. They had, like, crystals and incense and books. They had a whole
bunch of Ouija boards.
Yeah.
They had, like, a black scrying mirror, and my sister saw it, and she's just like, nope, I don't know why you would want that, but okay.
They had pocket-sized Ouija boards for, like, $6. Yeah. I was like, just in case you want to get possessed on the go.
They had a lot of little planchettes and super cool stuff like that. But, Damn It dolls, I had never heard of a Damn It doll before.
I've never heard of it before.
Until this past Christmas, my coworker got one from the... White Elephant, and apparently it's just this doll that when you get really angry you just smash it against your desk, and
you're supposed to, like, tie a piece of hair to it and say a prayer of a person you don't like so that they feel that. Doll. I get confused all the time.
But if you guys have a local psychic shop, go in there, check it out.
Don't be a dick. Like, I'm skeptical. No. I went in there and I checked out the stuff, and I wasn't rude. And, like, when we rang the wind chimes, everyone was like, that sounds really nice. It's really peaceful.
Yeah, the person that worked there, she's like, please ring it because it makes me feel good.
We thought they were going to tell us no, and she said that they're attuned to each of your chakras to relax you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess so. Cool. And then someone was like, oh, I just feel so relaxed. In my head, I was like, shut up. Just kidding. That was totally Robin's sister. I was just, like, rolling my eyes like, don't placate her. She knows she's being lied to. She's psychic. So, yeah, it was a fun time.
All right.
So let's move over into the stream chat and see what you fine folks had to say. I saw there was quite a few of you that have already joined us, which is awesome to see. And I'm looking down, and it doesn't look like we're dropping frames like crazy, so I think we might actually be okay here.
Sweet.
Looks like Karen was first. I'm pretty sure Jace is going to say something like, I waited for you this week. I looked down, and it looks like they're letting Karen be first. So way to take credit for it still. And thank you for joining us. There's a lot of people here. Karen, Blanca, Extra Dodge, Sakura. And then there's more as I scroll down. It looks like Keegan is also here. Gil6 is here. Of course, Jace is here. Zeke is here. So awesome. We're glad to have all you folks here.
Is it Extra Dodge or Extra Doge?
Extra Doge. My bad. I saw an E, so I assumed there was a D.
I love me some dogs.
I think there's Twitch people here, too, but Robin's not looking at her chat.
Oh, shit, sorry. Well, a lot of people are just talking about all the ridiculous amount of tornadoes that have been going on this season. like it's nonstop. Crazy, just tornado after tornado after tornado.
My hometown got hit by a tornado this
all
past
of you
weekend.
guys, please be safe out there during this. Is it already tornado season?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, tornado season is basically when, like, spring hits.
All of you in Tornado Alley, like, stay safe, please, because that is really scary.
Hello to Zeke. Zeke says, hi, Adam and Robin, specifically.
Girl Panic says, OMG, I'm wearing a NASA shirt, too.
It's funny.
NASA. Everyone support NASA. I mean, they are doing their work, and they aren't getting paid for it anymore, right, by the government?
They still get paid. They just aren't funded by the government.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I'd donate to NASA.
Extra Doge says, there's romance. What the fuck? Help us. That's hilarious. That was at 6:29, so I'm not sure. That I thought that was going to be in reference when I said something nice about you.
Oh.
But it looks like it came in early. So, right on. And then I'm sure there's going to be a question further down here since Karen usually tosses one out for us to debate about. Is that all you got?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Twitch is way behind today. Kat says, what's the question of the week? Karen says, question of the week, if your personality was an ice cream flavor, what would it be?
I'd be Rocky Road.
Because you just finally had Rocky Road for like the first time?
No, not the first time.
Why'd you have them explain it to you for so long then?
Because I thought it was just a flavor and they had syrups like almond syrup and marshmallow syrup and stuff to flavor it like Rocky Road. And I wanted them to add the actual marshmallows and nuts into it.
Always about the nuts. So Rocky Road is apparently Robin's.
Yeah, because I'm soft, with the marshmallows, but I'm a little bit nutty.
I'm going to go with Oreo, vanilla with Oreo, just because that's my favorite. I don't know if that matches my personality or not, but that's what I'm going to go with because it is my fave. So Karen says probably strawberry for me. Kat says matcha mochi. That's pretty good. Sakura also said Rocky Road. Karen says, I really got sucked into Lucifer. I think that happens pretty easily with that show just because people wind up watching. It's just an easily bingeable show.
Yeah, it's super easy to binge just because Tom Ellis does such a good job of being absolutely adorable.
He's very charming. Kat says they film parts of Lucifer near my work.
That's cool.
That's super cool.
Oh my gosh, if I ran into Tom Ellis, he's supposed to be super tall too. So I'm just like swoon. So swoon.
Keegan says, hey, Evan and Robin, I submitted a story about the time I almost got kidnapped and I forgot to say that you can share my story. Sorry. We'll scrub back through it. And if we haven't read it yet, we will make sure that we mark down that we can read it because sometimes we do err on the side of caution, especially if it's serious. Karen says 2 nights ago, we got a tornado warning. I remember getting tornado warnings growing up and my dad did not care. But had we been hit by a tornado, pretty sure I wouldn't have a dad right now.
When I lived in Texas, the next town over to ours got hit with a tornado, and I was just so scared because that is really close. You know what I mean? And I didn't even see it. So it was just, the idea frightens me.
Sakura says, we have a tornado warning right now. Well, I would suggest taking shelter. I understand that you have a dedication to the show, and we do appreciate that. But I would go and hide somewhere to make sure that you stay safe, especially because you let us do your pregnancy announcement, and we appreciate that greatly. And we want to make sure that you stay safe, and so does impending kiddo.
Oh, cute.
So, awesome.
Girl Panic says strawberry cheesecake ice cream.
Wow, that's specific, and it also sounds delicious.
It is very delicious. And Queen Caffeine says dark chocolate amaretto ice cream.
Nice. That's some classy shit right there. That means you're fancy. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. So that's everything I have over here. And if you're done, then you can go ahead and move into your first one. I will move on
to our next story. Our next, it was a website submission too. So
we had like 5 out of 6 were website submissions this week.
Yeah, so you guys, it's super easy. Go to Scaryish.com. There's a contact us page. Write your story in there. Press send, and we'll get it, which is kind of cool. Thank you for setting that up. You're so fancy.
No problem.
All right, this next email here is from Taylor, and the subject line says, big ol' what the fuck.
Pretty good.
Solid.
Now we know what we're getting into.
Yeah, now we know. And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. I don't know if that's going to get taken down, so I didn't want to do it in the tune.
I'm sure it's... Okay. Anyway, it begins. Hi, Alfalfa and Robin.
Hello.
Alfalfa,
do I have an Alfalfa today? Yes. It's the kid from
that's like...
Little Rascals with the point. I don't think... My hair's okay. I know Gil Six said he hoped my hair was all fucked up. Because that one episode, when I was messing with it, my part's not clean, but I didn't try and make it clean today, so...
Okay. Hold on.
Everyone say bless you or God bless you or gazoon tight to Robin.
Apologies if this is garbage. I'm typing on my phone without my glasses and I can't see much of anything, but here we go.
It's told through emojis, like if it were hieroglyphics.
Sorry, Adam. That's literally what it says. All right, so I love the pod. Been listening since the beginning. Y'all the bomb.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
And where I have been blessed so far as to not have spooky shit happen to me ever, that ship sailed for me the other night. So I woke up and I looked at my phone to make sure my work alarms were set. It was around 3:07-ish when I checked my phone, made sure the volume was up, and put it down so I could go back to sleep. I closed my eyes but felt restless. All of a sudden, I hear something weird near my bed. It sounds like heavy, rhythmic breathing. Anytime you hear breathing that is not your own or someone that you know near you, something's up.
If it's rhythmic, though, I mean, it's obviously steady and like to a beat, but every time I hear rhythmic, I just hear like... What? Why do you look at me like that?
What is that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just a random beat I thought of. You're looking at me like I said something horrible.
It sounded so weird. Someone posted a meme. I don't know if it was in the Facebook group or whatnot, but it was like I was in class and heard heavy breathing over my shoulder, and it was just a picture of a Rottweiler sitting there in class. It was really cute. Anyway, so rhythmic breathing. Now I have pulsatile tinnitus, but I could hear both the breathing and my tinnitus on separate times. I hope that's how you spell it or say it.
Tinnitus for sure. Pulsatile? I have no idea. I've never heard of that word. Sounds kind of sexy, though.
All right. Like I'd hear the breathing and
you're supposed to practice stuff like yes and when it comes to like interacting with each other. Robin deliberately practices no fuck you. Like for anyone who listens, you've probably already picked up on that.
Like I'd hear the breathing and it was like raspy, heavy, and then my goddamn tinnitus is just annoying and ringing. I felt a pressure on the side of my bed. Nope. No. Ghosts. And I start internally freaking the fuck out. I tried to open my eyes, but I was honestly too scared. I'd be in the same boat. And my body was not ready for a fight at 3 a.m. But the devil would win anyway, because that's his time to shine. I tried to fake sleep.
It's just so funny when people try and fake sleep. Like, if you really think there's this, like, omnipresent evil looking over you, and you're like, but if I keep my eyes closed, they'll just sit there and check their watch and tap their foot kind of thing.
What I've realized from fake sleeping is that your heartbeat, your heart rate changes. So whatever is waiting can tell if you're breathing.
Plus you stop snoring.
Sleeping. Right. And so fake sleeping, it's like, can't get away with that fake sleeping crap.
I fake sleep. If I'm ever really scared, I'll fake sleep and I'll just be so dramatic about my snoring. So like whatever demon's there is like, holy shit, is he going to die? I'll just go way over the top, but I try and like mimic it to the point where it's like they're like, you know what, I'll see him in hell. Like he's gonna be down there in a minute anyways. To you?
Yes.
No, I just sleep.
All right.
I mean, as much as I can because you wake me up constantly. So.
Wake me up.
I was so sleepy on Tuesday at work. And I sent her a meme. I was just like, hey, like, tell me a story. I'm falling asleep at my desk. And I sent her a meme of that music video. Was like, wake me up. And then she wasn't sending me anything. And so I sent her the other one. I was like, I can't wake up. And I don't think she wound up telling me a story.
I did say something.
Like, just something super quick where I was like, this isn't a story. I told you something
random. Anyway, okay. So I tried to fake sleep and eventually did pass out, either from extreme exhaustion or absolute terror. Who knows? Now, I wake up at 6:10 a few hours later, an hour past my alarms, which sucks because they literally checked to see if the alarm was on. So they made sure it was on.
And you still slept through an alarm.
Through it. I shoot up in bed because I have to be at work. And I look at my phone. Both alarms are off. The phone is on silent, and I'm late as fuck. So I don't know if I turned it off in the night, which I've never done, or my sleep demon breathing visitor from last night wanted to fuck me over. Who knows? But I was late for work, and I could still hear that heavy rhythmic breathing in my head on my drive to work. I eventually got it out of my head while I was working, but now I'm laying in bed, setting my alarms for the gym, and hoping my demon doesn't come back to play tonight because I'm real fucking tired. Anyway, keep on creeping on. I'm hoping I just had a realistic dream or something, because with my work schedules, I have no time to exercise a demon. Love you guys.
Love you too.
That's hilarious.
That was really good. And I think that's one of those things where, like, thank you to the Snark who just subscribed for the 9th month. It says, thanks for coming out this weekend. How amazing was that food? We had brunch with the Snark for his 30th birthday. Congratulations, the Snark. Thank you for inviting us. It was amazing, and we're going to have to go back to that place.
We came home and we're like, Linda, you have to try this. We're going to have to go back because the food was so good.
In addition, I need a nap right away. Sorry for not showing up at the pool, but I was like, I am done for the day. And I really did just kind of shut it down after that. So
I need some of that ube like toast, ube pancakes.
It's a place called Truffles and Bacon,
yeah.
Which is in Henderson / the Green Valley area in Las Vegas. So if you're a local, try it out. There's a bunch of amazing stuff on the menu. It was literally like the struggle. You know, sometimes you see a menu, you're like, I don't know exactly what I want because nothing sounds great.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where like everything sounds really effing good. So I'm gonna have to come here multiple times. Right. So again, thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. That was great.
Yeah. I want to point out for this story, it sounds like if there was a demon or a ghost or something like that, the rhythmic thing you were hearing was them laughing because they were turning off your alarms. They're like, exactly. Like I think the Spy versus Spy, like that kind of laugh where it sounds evil, but it's really just really mischievous. So that's what I took from the story. So I hope that's the case and you didn't get messed with a bunch because at some point, or maybe they're really benevolent and they're like, you know what? You're really tired. I'm just going to turn off your alarm. Like, get some sleep.
You need some beauty sleep.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe that's the case.
And maybe the rhythmic breathing could be like them trying to sneak into the bed and like breathing real slow, making sure not to panic, to reach your phone and turn it off. And they're like, they're sleeping. I can do whatever I want.
Wow, that got really weird really fast.
No, with the phone.
Okay. I was like, they're creeping onto the bed. They're like, I can do whatever I want.
Or they felt pressure on the bed.
I heard that part, yeah. I think they're just sitting next to them evaluating whether or not you were tired and decided that you deserve some sleep.
All right.
So that's what I'm going to go with on that one. But thank you for sending it. And anyone who has a story like that, please send it.
Yeah,
also,
I hope you got to the gym on time.
Before we move on to our next story, just going to point out Winchester Mystery House Meetup is less than 2 weeks away. It's Sunday, June 9th, so it's super soon. So if you're going to be in town, you haven't bought your ticket yet, we're going to be there at noon. It's the Basic Bitch Tour. That's not what it's actually called, but it's the Basic Tour that
Winchester would appreciate you calling it that.
I'm pretty sure it's around $39. They didn't sponsor us to go, so I'll call it whenever I want.
Oh, yeah.
But that said,
Winchester,
we would love,
if you want, please sponsor us.
We would
Give
love
us some free
to
tickets.
have you here. Shout out to Captain Fake Eye who just joined us
Thank you so much.
on Twitch. We appreciate you having you here. So if you're going to be in the San Jose area and you want to join us, please, June 9th, noon, we're going to be going to the Winchester Mystery House.
Yep.
And then that Saturday previously, we're going to be in the area, so we're going to try and do a little meetup to get like probably food or a snack or boba or basically whatever Robin wants in the moment. So we'll keep you folks posted on that, but we hope we can see you there. We know some of you are coming and we're very excited. So I guess we can go ahead and move on to the next story. I will say Akasuna no Kairi just resubscribed for the 8th month. Thank you so much to all you wonderful folks resubscribing. Yeah. And also, I was just kidding. I put that we can move on to the next story thing. We're really going to go over into the stream chat and see what you folks had to say about that story. Or about whatever came to your mind in the moment. So it looks like Sakura is joining us via cell phone while hiding from a tornado. And if that doesn't scream loyal listener, I don't know what does.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. Sarah over there in YouTube says, I need that demon. I think everyone needs a demon that'll turn your alarm off. If you just need a little bit of sleep. Because if you tell your boss, like, I accidentally slept in and you have honesty in your voice, sometimes they're just going to be like, it's no big deal, you know, just come into work and figure it out. And then at least you're rested. So maybe it's not exactly a demon. It's more of a guardian angel.
All right. Neon Scars, thank you so much for joining us. Girl Panic says, sleepy, just got off work. I'm sure a lot of you guys are either in Australia just getting to work or here in America
on the East Coast, and it's like 9:30 right now.
About to go to bed, and you guys are amazing for showing up and being here. You guys are so awesome.
Lots of people over in YouTube says bless you when you sneezed.
Thank you.
And Karen said may the power of Christ compel you, Robin, which I appreciate. Sarah over there in YouTube says, I have a story to tell y'all about Winchester Mystery House. I went yesterday. Can't wait to hear it. I saw that you messaged us on Facebook. Thank you so much for letting us know. Sarah basically reached out and was super, super nice.
Oh, nice.
Said they have a bunch of stores that they want to send us and that they also went to Winchester Mystery House, but they're not going to be able to go on June 9th, but they still went and they had something happen and they're going to let us know. So I'm super excited to hear about it. So thank you for joining us, Sarah. I think this is Sarah's first time here and fun stuff. So what else? I think that's the end of my stuff. So what else do you got over there on Twitch?
Neon Scar says, love Robin sweatshirt. Thank you.
NASA fans.
Yeah, NASA's awesome. Space is awesome. Aliens.
Aliens.
The truth is out there, just saying.
We got to get that poster framed.
We do have to get that poster framed.
Shout out to Glitch for those posters. We got to get them framed.
I want to believe. Girl Panic says, I got nipped on my leg by a dog at work today.
Oh, no.
That sucks. Hopefully the dog was not too bad and you don't get rabies.
Wow. Have you ever known anyone who got rabies from a dog bite?
No. Have you?
Yeah, one person.
Did they die?
No. She was very... You can get shots. You don't have to capture the dog that had rabies. You get like 40 shots to get rid of it.
All at once?
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's like 13 a sitting. I can't remember. But here's the funny thing.
Just imagine like freaking Wolverine comes in with needles and they're just like all at once.
I mean, they'd have to do that 8 times because Wolverine only has 3 claws per hand. So.
Oh, well, I meant like, yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, needle. Yeah, you're right.
And I said 8. That's 48 shots. That's just exaggerating. I actually don't know how many shots it is for rabies anymore. What I will say, though, is that this chick was my friend who lived next door. It was his older sister, and she was so mean all the time. And I might have mentioned this before. Like, I used to call people a bitch when I was really young. It's like one of my first curse words, and I was told, like, you can't call people that anymore. Call them dogs.
Oh,
like, because that's what, a bitch is a female dog. Like, just call them dogs. It's just as offensive. They'll still be offended, but you can't get in trouble. So, like, I used to call her a dog all the time, and then she got bit by a dog. So when I found out she had to get rabies shots, I was like, oh, you had to get rabies shots? Like a dog? And she was like, I'll kill you. It was amazing. But yeah, she had to get like 50 shots.
My mom, once I started getting piercings and tattoos, she's like, you're like a dog.
Dogs don't have piercings.
Well, like, because collars and stuff like that and chains. And she was just like, she equated gangsters to dog. I don't know.
Collars and chains are a different type of thing. Wink,
I mean,
wink.
chains and whips excite me. Okay, anyway. So.
Pretty sure it's my turn.
Oh, your turn to... Okay, read.
Keegan over there says, I would just like to say that as a 13-year-old, I am my own demon that, in fact, tries to wake up at 6:15 but wakes up at 7. I think there's a lot of us out there that set a time that we're supposed to wake up, and we wind up waking up like 45 minutes to an hour later. So totally understand that one.
Let's see. The Snark says, Adam, teaching everyone how to curse as a kid. It's cute.
I had good parents. They're like, hey, you can't say that, but if they really are a bitch, here's what you should say instead.
Neon Scar says, this is really random, but I saw so many animals on the way home tonight. A fox, a smaller animal like a skink, a raccoon, some froggies. It was quite an animal night. It just means you're a Disney princess.
Did you say a skank?
Skink.
Skink?
Yeah, it's an animal.
You mean skunk?
No.
S-K-I-N-K?
That's an animal.
I've never heard of a skink before.
I'm pretty sure that's an animal. Googling,
okay.
since we're in chat right now.
You go ahead and Google. I'll look over here. Still don't have any new YouTube chat. What is a skink? I mean, you're YouTubing it. Oh my God, you're right. Okay, damn it. I've never heard of a skink, so I thought you were saying skank or skunk. So.
You're a skink.
You're a skunk. Whatever. All right, so I'm going to move on into my next story. Is that good, or are you done?
Captain Fake Eye also asked, what's a skink? And Valley Grills and Carly is like, a lizard. They're lizards.
So they knew.
And then the Snark says, lol, Robin, you know how it is. You get one piercing or tattoo, then boom, you're a heroin addict. Life according to Asian parents.
Right. Kat over there says it's a reptile. They knew right away. Karen over there is giving hints on, not hints, but helpful tips on how you can swear when you're a kid. Mother trucker, son of a biscuit, kiss my astronaut. Those are pretty good ones.
Kiss my astronaut? That's amazing.
That's not bad. I really like lint liquor. That was a good one because that Orbitz commercial when I was a kid.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next one.
All right.
This next one, I was going to say the subject is website submission 05902. That's not true. The subject is Storytime. So I think the other one sounded more like it was sent by a robot, but it starts like this. Hi, Robin and Adam.
Hi.
Hello. For our audio listeners, Robin also waved. Your podcast was recommended me by my peckerhead buddy Aaron a while back, and I've been trying to catch up on episodes.
He's not such a pecker if he's,
We appreciate that, Aaron. I don't think you're a peckerhead. I saw you guys post about how you record listener stories on Wednesdays, so I hope this gets to you in time. I'm from Vancouver Island, and I grew up on a reservation in a very spiritual family. We are Coast / S-A-L-I-S-H, I surely said that wrong, and Blackfoot. So my great-grandpa would always tell us, in parentheses, us as in me and all my siblings and cousins, legends and stories about the land and spiritual beings that we should be aware of. My great-grandpa owned a bunch of land, a large section of which contains farmland and a huge forest area. That is awesome. He would tell us stories that many years ago the land was used in important cultural events where people would go to become quote-unquote reborn. It gets kind of complicated in that sense, so I'll just say that it's very important and the community knows the forest area to be a spiritual area and to be respectful of it. Anyway, to kind of paint a picture of the area, you would have to drive a few minutes off the road to get to the farm, which was about the size of 4 football fields. That's pretty good. It's a lot of land.
Yeah, it's a lot of land.
Off the back of the farmland, he had a gate where he kept cows and horses, and behind this area was the huge forest. Now, the forest, I'm picturing Heartland, and I hate so much that I've seen that stupid show where this is what I'm picturing now. I want to hit my head until it leaves my head.
I love Heartland.
She really
love
does,
Heartland so
and
much.
I hate it so much. All right, I'm gonna
so good.
I want to get back into this.
Canada's princess.
I want to get back into this rich tapestry that's being woven for me by our listener who sent this, because I think that this can push Heartland out of my head. All right, now, the forest is so dense that you can't really see into it even during the day unless you really go back behind the first tree line. In the summer, my great-grandpa would grow a shit ton of strawberries in his farmland, and when I was little, I would go with him to help, in parentheses, JK, just to eat a bunch of strawberries. And I would always get this weird feeling like we were being watched by something in the forest and there was that kind of feeling where the hair on the back of your neck stands up. It didn't help that my great-grandpa would just smile and say, well, if you ever encounter anything in the forest, just hug it and you will absorb its power. I have never heard that. That is very good to know. Then the next sentence is like, what the fuck? I totally agree. Like, you see something terrifying, your first instinct is going to be to run away or fight it.
That's why I hug bears all the time.
I wouldn't think, hug a bear to absorb its power. That's why Robin's bare hands are spelled B-E-A-R now. All right. As we got older, me and my cousins... I hate you so much. Me and my cousins would adventure into the forest during the day, but again, we would always get that creepy feeling like we were being watched. We would even experience a deafening silence, which was super creepy because one minute you're happy walking through the forest, listening to the birds, and then everything just stops.
Who teaches kids to hug random things in the forest?
It's anything that you encounter. So it's not random things, really.
I've encountered a stranger. I'm going to hug
I think it's very clear that this was like of the paranormal variety. It's not like if you see a homeless dude jerking off in the forest line, go give him a hug and you'll absorb his power.
If you see the Candyman in the forest, hug him.
Oh, God. All right.
Jesus
Getting
Christ.
back to it. Anyway, and it says anyway. Although we would get a creepy feeling around the forest and experience the creepy silence, we never really heard or saw anything in the forest during the day. I like that there's the qualifier during the day. Years later, I was about 12 and having a sleepover with my cousins. My great-grandpa called my mom and asked her to drive up to the farm and turn off the giant sprinklers that he had left on to water the strawberries, as he was too tired/old to go up there at this time. It was about midnight, so understandable, my mom didn't want to leave us alone and made us all pile into her SUV and drive up there to go turn them off. We were having fun during the drive until we got to the road that leads to the farm. There was this weird energy in the air and made us all go quiet, even my mom. As we drove up to the sprinklers, me and my cousin kept looking at the forest because it seemed even more ominous at night. My mom ended... Go ahead.
Forests are always scary to me. And when it's nighttime, the canopies cut out any type of light. So any moonlight that might slip in and give any sort of light in there, it's just cut off by the trees. And it's a million times worse. Like, of course, it looks creepier.
And when you live in like a really, when you live in like a really rural area, like sometimes you have like a 2-lane road or a single-lane road that's so small that the forest just creates that tunnel. You know, where the canopy isn't just like kind of obscuring; it's like completely obscuring the sky. Well, and that's when it gets really creepy.
In Indiana, they have those fields, right? They have fields where you plant all your stuff, and then in the middle of a field might be a square area that just has trees, and it's just thick trees.
You just don't plant in some areas for specific reasons. The farmers know their land or whatever.
Isn't there like a house in the middle of that or anything?
Not normally. Usually the houses are built like near a road. They're not in the middle of the field where you have to drive through your field to get to something. But sometimes there's like, houses built like into the onset of a field. But yeah, Indiana has lots and lots of trees. I grew up around.
It's just like, why would you have random
I told her she was driving home from a bar when we were visiting Indiana. And I told her, like, what you really need to be afraid of is deer. So just drive nice and slow. And like, as soon as I said that, 2 deer crossed the road. And I was like, see, fucking told you, man. Like, deer are everywhere out here, especially during that season.
It's crazy.
All right, getting back to this email. My mom ended up driving as close as she could to the sprinkler shut off, but had to walk the rest of the way because of farm junk being in the way. So here we are, me, my brother, and my 2 cousins in the back of my mom's SUV while she gets out in the pitch darkness with her to walk her path to the sprinklers only lit up by the headlights.
No.
My mom left her
That's
car.
like a horror movie.
My mom left her car door open.
Oh my God.
And was obviously creeped out too. So she was trying to walk fast without tripping, and then we hear it.
No, what? No.
I just got cold chills. This guttural, loud, creepy screech came from the forest. I swear we all almost shit our pants. It was like this whooping sound and screeching coming from the forest that we had never heard before. It sounds like an owl to me. I've heard owls screech before, and it's fucking horrifying. Or it's La Lucchesa. So my mom, upon hearing this screeching, hauls ass to the sprinklers and shuts them off. That's a good daughter, or granddaughter, because she still accomplished the task she went up there for instead of noping the fuck out, and runs back to the SUV. We all sat there for a second, scared shitless, listening to this thing scream in the forest, which then started to sound like breaking sticks and branches. We peeled out of there and went home, where my mom lit some sage to help us calm down, because, like, fuck, were we gonna sleep that night? We later told my great-grandpa about it, and he just silently nodded and told us to keep out of the forest for a while. That's smart. Well, anyways, I have a bunch of other stories from growing up on a creepy-ass reservation, including stories of the little people experiencing sleep paralysis and even encountering ... a creature which ends in a police investigation and much more.
No way!
Keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to hearing what's next. Also, please tell Aaron that he's a hoe, if you can say that on air. I just said
Apparently,
it, so
Aaron,
thank
you're
you.
a hoe.
Thank you for saying that.
But thank you for sharing
We
with your
appreciate
friend.
you bringing your friend in, Aaron, and so many of you. And it's just so nice to see people say,
Even
like
Sarah, right?
Sarah had mentioned that they evangelize our product. This is just a thing that I say, but really it just means, like, you tell people about it. You tell people, I really like this thing and I think you should listen to it. Sarah told people at the Winchester Mystery House that we're going through to get creeped out, like, you should listen to this podcast. It's called Scaryish. And, like, when you hear stories like this, or you know people that have stories, it just really helps us build a fan base of the people that are, like, inclusive and wanting to hear each other's stories. And what we're really building is just this giant campfire that a bunch of fun people are sitting around. We can all tell stories to each other, and it's awesome.
And we have had feedback where it's more like not so scary in comparison to scary, and that's why we're called Scaryish. We're not necessarily here to scare you.
Sometimes I want to scare the shit out of you, and I think those are pretty clear. But when I do that, you usually cover a topic that's not that scary, so we can balance it.
Well, yeah. So this past week I did Blackbeard, which
awesome.
Is super fun. It's
I
just
want to start a fucking
story.
pirate podcast now. It was so much fun.
And then you did your freaking apocalyptic story.
I love like end of world event scenarios. They're just so terrifying and interesting, especially the ones where you're like, oh, this is going to happen. Just wait.
So if you're out there thinking we're here to creep you out and we're here to scare you, sometimes that's the case. And sometimes we really are just a comedy podcast here to have fun.
My favorite thing is to cover a topic where someone's like, this isn't going to be scary. And then by the end of it, you post stuff on Facebook or Discord and it's like, you fucked me up, bro. Like, I can't even stop thinking about this.
Like the Black-Eyed Children.
Like the Black-Eyed Children. I didn't think it was going to be scary. I even talked about it, that I thought it was fake during the episode. And that's like the most responded to episode. And even Yellowstone. I was afraid no one would think Yellowstone was interesting.
I thought it was
interesting. So many people, the thing that they've said to me so far, and it's been 2 days since it came out, like yesterday and almost all of today, what they've said is like, I'm so thankful for where I live now, or I hate the fact that I live so close to Yellowstone. And it's just, that's what I think about every day. So I'm glad I could inspire that sort of paranoia in you. That said, I really appreciate that story. I want to hear the rest of them. You have me hooked. I can't wait for the sequels. So please send us the rest.
Please send them to us.
And have Aaron send. A
creature with a police investigation sounds awesome.
Yeah, have Aaron send anything that he has. And if he doesn't have anything, just send a shout out so we can thank him personally.
Yeah.
Because we appreciate all of you that bring other people in. It's not like a cult that's growing. It's really just like a big group of friends that's getting bigger.
Yeah,
but
so
maybe a
tag
cult.
us on
We're
Twitter,
never gonna ask you to drink, Kool-Aid or anything like that. So
unless it's like really good Kool-Aid,
or Scaryish brand Kool-Aid. Oh my God, we have so many ideas. Okay, so let's go ahead and look over into the YouTube stream or the stream chat and see what you folks have to say.
Captain Fake Eye says, "I'm 29 and still hiding my tattoos from my parents, and I don't think my parents know about all the tattoos I have because I have a lot. I think I got one when I was 18 or 19, and my mom was like, okay, that looks like crap. You should get it removed, but whatever. And then I came over to her house once and I had one on my neck, like on the back of my neck. And I turned around to get water or something. She's like, what the heck is on your neck?
And that rhymes.
And, oh yeah, it does. Look at that. And now I have my quarter sleeve I have going on, and then I have like my wings, and I have too many tattoos. Okay, I don't have too many because there really isn't too many unless you're like body covered like Yakuza and you're just blowing your money on tattoos. I wish I could, but I can't. And it's my mom. I don't think my mom knows about all my tattoos at all because I don't go around in bathing suits around her and stuff. So
I know about them. Hey.
Wow.
They're all in normal, like, not skanky places.
No, yeah, I don't have it. I don't have a tramp stamp or anything. Not that having a tramp stamp makes you skanky. It's just I don't have one.
Good stuff. Shout out to all of you who have tramp stamps out there. I don't think you're a tramp.
Yeah, why is it even called that?
Because people are mean.
Okay.
It's the same thing when you have a C-section in the front and you have like a tramp stamp in the back. It's called a stripper mullet. Not everyone that has that are strippers. It's just a funny thing people like to say.
I've never heard that before.
You have now. You're welcome.
Holy cow. People are horrible. Okay. The Snark says, I forgot I had a tattoo and scratched my arm when I visited her. She wasn't happy, but the deed was done. Yeah.
Feedback just dropped us 600 bits and said so there is no such thing as too many tattoos. I totally agree. Shout out to Feedback. He's a great streamer. You should totally watch his stream.
Yes. That is my friend. I've known him since we were little kids. You guys should just totally go support him. He streams all these video games. If you like first-person shooters and stuff like that, he shoots things, like snipes things incredibly fast, and it's impressive. Anyway, let's see.
Karen over on YouTube says, I was joking with my mom about me going outside today because I practically live on the couch. We made jokes about me drinking from the hose, eating some grass, and licking the trees, you know, getting the full experience. I remember drinking from the hose all the time as a kid. I've heard that you're not supposed to drink from the hose anymore, so I don't know if that's a real thing, but I remember the hose water tasting just fine back in the day. I don't know if that's just something in my brain, but I felt like all tap water was fine, and then something changed.
Drinking out of the hose is things crawl into the hose.
Well, I mean, you turn it on, you spray it, and I think that should clear it out, right?
It doesn't clean out all the bacteria. That's the thing. Hello, things live in there.
That's how you develop an immune system.
All right.
You just ingest bacteria. Please don't do that.
Chelsea Cat said that last story you read reminded her of MFM, Stay Out of the Forest.
Yeah.
I was talking to my coworkers today about My Favorite Murder, and they were just laughing because I was telling them My Favorite Murder is a huge, famous podcast. They're huge. And
they're expanding their podcast network, and I really wish they'd take a look at us.
But
they won't. But I wish they would.
They travel around the world and talk about murder. Yeah. And my coworkers were just mind blown.
It's so funny because I have friends too that talked about like they heard that some of our other friends were listening to My Favorite Murder, and they came to me like, do you think they're messed up? Like they're listening to this podcast. And I was like, they don't know that I listened to it. So I was like defending it without letting them know like I'm a fan, just to let them know like, you realize people have written like true crime books for a very long time, and like documentaries have always been a thing. And like, especially in our culture in America, like we worship criminals. We always have. That's why like when you watch a documentary about Bonnie and Clyde, it's like they're murdering innocent civilians. And people are like, oh my God, like I can't believe it's so romantic. And it's like, yeah, they brutally murdered people. But because they were like stealing from the rich during that messed up time and they were a couple, people were okay with it. And he's like, yeah, I guess that's true. It's like, yeah, I listened to that show. It's like, you do? Like, are you messed up? And it's like instantly they reset back to like their weird, like, judgmental process where it's like, you must be weird for listening to something interesting but dark.
I'm very lucky to have coworkers that don't judge me like that because
these are my friends. These aren't my coworkers.
Oh, I'm very big on true crime, and I love true crime. You guys know my true crime episodes, my what are those cult episodes that I've done?
Cult episodes
I really
are good.
like looking into those. There was one moment we were sitting down at dinner the other day, and Linda was trying to think of certain cult, and I was just like, "Oh, you mean this cult?" And she was like,
"Yeah." It was the Waco, Texas cult.
It was run by this guy, and I was like, "Oh, you mean so and so?"
She knew all the details. Like she was the one that arrested the fucking dude.
It was just really funny. Anyway,
Cat Beatrix, I think this is in reference to drinking from the hose. Says you can get typhoid. Which one was the one where you got it by eating ass?
Typhoid.
Is it typhoid?
Yeah.
# don't eat ass.
Oh.
If you're gonna do something that's gonna get you typhoid, drink from a hose. Don't eat ass. Someone out there that really wants their ass eaten is like, I'm not gonna let my partner watch this.
So Captain Fake Eye was saying all her tattoos are gonna be showing at her wedding from her wedding dress.
Fucking
right?
do it, bro.
And she's Chinese, so
ooh.
Yeah. So she says, hopefully they'll still love me. Otherwise, in true Chinese culture, they're going to be giving me away to the hubs.
Wow. Well, you know what? If they do, F them.
Yeah. It's like whatever you do with your body, you do you. Boop, boop,
It sounded weird.
Raisin Rebel. How does that sound weird?
Whatever you do with your body, you do you.
Yeah, you do. Oh, okay. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
have a hair in my eyeball.
I'm glad you're going to get this out on air, but I mean, there's really nothing else you can do.
There's nothing else I can do. It's stuck in there. Hold on, let me poke my eye. You guys want to see it real quick? Just zoom all the way into my eyeball. I'm not afraid of touching my eyeball. I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, but I
think no one with contacts is afraid of touching their eyeball because they've done it so often.
Yeah.
So I don't know where she stopped, so I don't want to pick up her chat.
No. Raisin Rebel says, but the forest looks so pretty. I'd go into the forest at night as long as I knew the land.
And you had a flashlight. Always take a flashlight, even if it's going to go out.
Captain Fake Eye says, OMG, the black-eyed children messed me up. I can't even walk from my car to the door at night without looking around for creepy kids. Kids can be very scary at night because they shouldn't be out alone at night.
I just think the black-eyed children are fake. I think it was a story that was made up that eventually got traction, even though it didn't at first. And because of the paranoia that anytime a child is out at night, who are probably up to mischief, people are just scared of them, which means that they just get up to more mischief, which is probably why I got up to so much mischief.
Albrain says, this week's episode made me wow emoji face because of Yellowstone. That was intense.
Karen says, to each their own, live and let live. I totally agree. I just encourage people to not eat ass so you don't get typhoid and spread a plague. And Blanca Bella says, I touch my eyeballs. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people don't, but I totally do. I will touch my eyeball. It's not even... Because sometimes stuff gets stuck in your eye.
Well, obviously, yes. We
like
all know.
An eyelash. And so I have to stick my finger in there.
I just try and get it to the point where it's on the white so I can just dab my eye and just take it off. But I'm not, like, obsessed with touching my eyeball. Like, apparently Robin is because she won't stop talking about it.
Okay, anyway. Valley Grill says, SSDGM, so stay sexy, don't get murdered. Chessy Cat says, my favorite murder.
You know what? Here's the thing. Okay, I don't want to get too off track, so I'll let you finish that. Just remind me to come back to my favorite murder.
Okay. Abe's Monster says, my coworkers all love true crime and conspiracies and stuff like that, so we have a lot of fun conversations. And Linda, hello, spooky mom, she says, Branch Davidians, from Waco. That one group.
Yes. I was like, I'm not going to know what that is.
Chessy Cat Seals, I love true crime, listen to it all day. This is why you guys are here. We're all true crime fans. It's great.
I think they're here because they're also paranormal fans.
Yeah. But it's like you're not weirded out by that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's more.
I think we overlap a lot with like the true crime community because it's just like you're not going to be like put off by something that you might be skeptical about.
Chessy Cat has a bunch of recommendations for true crime podcasts. Ace Monster would like some. Why don't you guys have a chat about that? And I'm at the end.
And pop into the Discord too and give some recommendations to those folks because everyone's always searching for new stuff. Karen says, I wasn't even affected in the slightest by the black-eyed children. And finished out with, touche, Adam, to each their own unless you're eating ass. Good point. Keegan says, Adam, you need to put more stickers on your laptop. I know. I mean, like, I didn't at first, and I have these over here, and I've had them for at least 20 shows waiting to go on my laptop.
I have new ones now.
I know. That's how long they've been here, but it's just like... I have a lot to do. I'm not lazy. I swear. It's just one of those things where
all my anime
she's cleaned off her laptop and restickered it.
Yeah,
it's
and
just,
I have like my Scaryish one. But
it's a thing.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to say something about my favorite murder before I move on to the next one. I think my favorite murder is a really good microcosm of two people who tried really, really hard for a really long time and worked their asses off. And because they just were who they were, they found like a kindred spirit, and there's a really good story about how they met each other at like a dinner party and both realized they were into the same weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because they just represent themselves, they don't try and put on a persona. Like you see YouTube personalities or Twitch streamers or stuff like that who slowly develop a persona over time. Their voice changes. It's like they really are. Say whatever you want about them because they're so famous now, they get shit on a lot. But they've always been just who they are, and that's why their show is super charming.
Chat about murder,
and they do really good research. But because it's not like documentary, like Pulitzer Prize winning research, people are like, oh, they're just unprepared. It's like I've been to a My Favorite Murder live show. It is not easy to do any sort of live show.
It's not easy to add a comedy aspect and get people interested,
and to keep them interested, especially in stories that they've heard before, and they just tell the stories and they just be themselves. And like, it's weird to say, but they kind of are, like, at least for me, and I'm sure for Robin, like, they're not just an inspiration, they're kind of heroes because they're deeply flawed and they talk about it very openly, and they let people into their lives, and that's why their community is the way it is. And it does annoy me when people are super critical of them, because like, people will go from being fans to being shitty over something really, really small. And it's like, I really feel like they don't understand how much work they put into creating something like that. And it's really easy to just turn your nose up at something, but it's really hard to create something like that impactful in so many people's lives. So it's like, I think they're fucking incredible. I haven't listened in like 20 episodes. I have a backlog that I get to catch up on.
Week.
And I feel that way about a lot of the podcasts I listen to. So it's like, that's something where when we listen to stuff like that, I think we realize, like, just be ourselves, do what we do, and let's try and create a good community and grind it out. Because it's not like they succeeded immediately at all the stuff that they did in their lives, but eventually they found this thing that they're very good at, and people just flock to it, and it's super cool to see. And for anyone out there who's a creative, like, it's very easy to just give up on something, like something that you want to invest your heart and soul into, if like you get a little bit of criticism.
Sam and Andrew just started their podcast again.
I know, dude. It's super cool. And like, knowing how much shit they get, and the fact that I get bothered by reviews still, I'm just like, can you imagine the scale of shit they take? Like, and they just keep moving forward. It's something to keep in mind. I think it's just a really good example. So, cool.
So, Karen, Georgia, hit us up. We want to be a part of your podcast network. Okay.
Thank you for just cheapening everything I just said, but whatever. Go ahead and hit us up.
All right. So.
I have one left. How many do you have left?
I have 2 left.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so then it's your turn.
All right. So, this next email subject is creepy dorm. I'm going to pretext this and say I've never stayed in a dorm. All I know about dorms is what I've seen on TV.
By TV, she means Pornhub.
No, I don't like that porn, okay? I watch better stuff. Anyway, I have taste.
Wow, way to judge all of our porn star listeners who have filmed in dorms.
Anyway, no, it's a joke, okay? We're a comedy podcast. Anyway, so... all I've seen, it's like from Buffy when they live in the dorm,
right.
You know, stuff like that.
Those are not dorms. So, like that Buffy dorm, that's an apartment.
Yeah,
like,
right.
A dorm is like a prison cell, maybe smaller in most cases.
So I don't know anything about dorms, so this will be interesting for me. It begins. Hey, Adam and Robin. There's multiple Y's. That's why I said like that.
Hey.
I finally got around to writing this experience that I had when I was a freshman at California State University, Channel Islands, CI for short. I've been meaning to do this since like the first Homegrown Horror episode, but I am incredibly lazy. Speaking to my heart, I am so lazy. I apologize for the grammar and any other mistakes. I am not a writer. Not one bit. Neither am I. That's what I have him for.
You never have to apologize to us. You always have to apologize to my mother who edits these, because sometimes she lets us know like they weren't that bad, or she'll let us know like this one is really well written. I barely had to do anything. And then sometimes she basically tells us like it was a shit show today. Like it was so bad. So shout out to my mom for fixing these and making them legible.
Yes, if you guys ever send us any gifts or anything, always add something in for the Spooky Mom. She's
yes,
awesome.
please do.
She really does a lot of work.
And she does it in between working from home.
Yes.
So she does a lot of work.
So this will be kind of long, and I'm sorry, but you guys can do whatever you want with it. A little background on CI. It is one of the newest schools added to the California State University system. It was opened in 2002, and it is located in Ventura County, Camarillo, California. I hope it's Camarillo and not Camarillo, because I don't know how to read that.
You'll probably get away with either of them. So.
To be exact. It is a very small campus and school in general. It is isolated from the main town, surrounded by agriculture fields. Agriculture fields? I don't know why I said agriculture incorrectly. Anyway. And
I thought she said it correctly both times.
Oh, sweet. And the Santa Monica Mountains and more ag fields. So it gets pretty freaking dark. It's like you live in the middle of a forest. Pretty much,
wow,
right?
Wow, and we just got done talking about a forest.
Anywho, it's not the scary part, but it could be a little scary-ish. What?
It's like people understand how to use that word.
Anywho, this campus may have been opened in 2002, but prior to that, it was used as a state mental hospital. Camarillo State Mental Hospital operated from 1936 to 1997. This is like an episode in itself.
Yeah, good work. Good research. They could be making all this up, but it sounds like really good research.
Yeah, that took a while, but here we are. Creepy side note, the plaques of the mental hospital are still displayed on campus buildings. Like, that's what you see on your way to class. What?
I mean, how creepy are the plaques? Is it like electroshock therapy building? Unless it's something like that,
or
wouldn't be too terribly.
I'm imagining
terrifying?
a sign that says mental hospital, like da 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 mental hospital, and whatever building number or whatnot. You know what I mean? Also, all the buildings used when it ran as a hospital are the same ones used as classrooms and dorms. Like, how fucking creepy is that? There are certain places on campus where you can see inside the buildings and see the beds, the drawings, the old furniture they used as a hospital. That's insane. Get it? Mental hospital?
Yeah.
Anyway, also our campus...
Good word usage and then turkey gobble.
Also, our campus library is... I think I do a pretty good turkey gobble.
She thinks she's funny is what that comes down to.
Also, our campus library is a new building, but the basement was the mortuary for the mental hospital.
Now that's fucking creepy.
I can't believe they just put a school on top of this.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, put the books where the dead bodies used to go. No biggie.
There's a plaque that states, "This tree is planted to honor those who were wrongfully buried here." Something along those lines. I'm so sorry. This is all over the place. It's just so many things about this school. Like, whose idea was it to turn a mental hospital into a school? That is the question of the hour. But I guess save money is the answer, maybe? I don't
Probably.
know. This campus is really beautiful, but it can be freaking creepy. Like, it has a lot of abandoned buildings, and sometimes you feel like someone's watching you from those buildings. I used to feel that when I would run at night around campus. Whenever I felt like that, I just booked it, and I wasn't the only one who felt this either. That's not the point. This is. There was this one night where I wished I could have noped the fuck out, but sadly that wasn't the case. I'm the world's biggest chicken shit, honestly. I'm surprised I can even listen to your podcast. That's because we're funny.
It's because we're scary-ish and not scary AF.
So, like Moira's OPAF. That was the best BlizzCon announcement.
That's just a random reference to a random announcement of BlizzCon about Overwatch.
Sorry. I love Overwatch. Anyway, so that means I wouldn't place myself in a situation involving the paranormal. Nope, nope, nope. I am Mexican American, so as a small child, you learn not to fuck with that shit. Even as an Asian, my parents were like, don't mess with it.
Puerto Ricans are exactly the same.
I feel like everyone teaches their kids that.
No. There's a race out there who doesn't. They're like, let's go investigate.
Oh, okay, no, we're not going to go there. Oh my gosh. The nights leading up to this event were like always chilling, eating, drinking, and studying. Then during dinner, my roommates were discussing a Snapchat that was going around of a little girl in a white gown peeping through the hallway of the freshman dorms. No.
Why would you spread that? I mean, obviously if it's like, a joke or a prank,
but it's like
you want to contribute to it,
you know?
But if you're not responsible, like, why would you do that? I just don't get it, man.
Being a chicken shit, I noped the fuck out of that conversation, knowing if I saw, I would constantly think about it. See, that's the thing. It's like, watch this VHS tape, then you just constantly think about it, and that's how she knows where you are and she gets you.
Yeah, but nowadays that really wouldn't be too big of an issue. It's like, watch this VHS tape, and like everyone would be like, I don't have one of those anymore. I don't have a
VCR. What if, okay, so say with the Ring, right? What if it's smart enough to duplicate itself?
Are you
going to
give
DVD?
it the Jumanji theory where it just evolves into a brand new, into a video game instead of a board game?
Yeah.
I just don't think you can. That dog's not going to hunt twice. You're not going to be able to use that to transition something from an expired premise where it's just like, oh, no one wants to play a board game. Shazam! Now I'm a video game.
Shazam! Okay. Anyway, so continuing on. A week had passed and I completely forgot about that. I forgot to mention that the freshman dorms were the children's ward. Oh, my Lanta. That's why they saw little girls, because it's the ghost of some of the kids that lived there. It's got to be. I lived in a suite apartment that had 2 rooms inside with 3 persons each. My roommates were cool and we had no issues. It's kind of hard to describe the set of the dorm, but I'm going to try my best and include a picture. Within the apartment, there are 2 bedrooms side by side, 1 bathroom, a lavatory with 2 sinks, and
lavatory where you store your lava.
Lavatory, whatever. It's because we're talking about volcanoes. Anyway, so it's a lavatory with 2 sinks and a small cabinet that has a microwave and drawer for things I hate you. So basically the 2 rooms are side by side, and the bathroom, the main entrance, cabinets, and sinks are in a straight line in order as mentioned right now. Each room has a door with a magnetic lock that could be opened by a magnetic key card. That is fancy.
That is fancy.
And a pin, and they are heavy as fuck.
You can invest in locks like this when you're turning, a mental institution into a school. Like, yeah, it's going to be haunted, but we're going to get them fancy locks because we save
ghosts
money.
Can't get through there. Anyway, like to slam a door, it would require a fucking hurricane. Keep that in mind because the insides of the... keep that in mind. The insides of the room have the same setup. The main entrance and the closet are on the same wall. The bunk beds were perpendicular to each other, so we had a clear view of the entire room and the door. I slept on the top bunk, my roommate Casey slept below me on the bunk bed, and our third roommate Haley slept on the lofted bed that had her desk under it instead of another bed. One night, I was having trouble falling asleep. I like my sleep, so that was weird. I like sleep too.
I do too.
My phone tells me how long I sleep every day.
I don't want to get too nerdy, but Pokemon just did announce a bunch of games, and one of them's called Pokemon Sleep that somehow like gives you credit for sleeping, and I'm like, I'm a fucking dominate at this game.
Oh my gosh, that's weird. I kept waking up at every hour. It was like midnight when I was finally falling asleep again. It was a Thursday night, and I had an early 8 a.m. math class. Ew. Very ew. 8 a.m. math classes are the worst, and it's annoying because you can't just skip it. Because it's math. You have to go. And so for the past 2 semesters, I've made sure my math class is at 10 or 11. Because I'm not waking up at 8.
When you transition from classes to like actual work at 8 a.m., the difference is when you go to class at 8 a.m., you're like, oh, I got to get here and I got to do the assignment or I got to take a test. You get to work and it's just a bunch of other people looking at each other like, God, I wish I was dead. Like, let's all go get coffee together. And there's at least that camaraderie of like, let's put off like adulting for another 30 minutes.
So I needed to be asleep. I woke up around 2 a.m. when I kept hearing noises in the hallway near the cabinet. We would sleep with the door open because I don't know why, but we did. But sometimes you don't need to have it closed. If you trust all your other roommates to not be dicks and make noise and stuff while you're sleeping, might as well leave it open. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've always had the room, like no matter where I've lived, I've always had the room that gets the least amount of like air from the vents. You know that because you've lived with me for like 6 years. Yeah. It always winds up happening. So like leaving the door open is a staple, or else my room gets to like 95 degrees and I melt in the night.
It's because I'm hot heat.
It's true. It's also a good band.
I really like them. Anyway, so from my perspective, I had a clear view of the main entrance and the cabinet. It was dark, but the blinds let in enough light from outside to see a cup. I kept staring at the cabinet because I kept hearing a noise. Then I saw the cup being lifted and put down. I tried to focus my eyes to see if what I saw was real. It moved again, and I hid under my blanket.
You have a ghost that's testing their abilities, like Patrick Swayze in Ghost. Someone's out there Swayzeing, and they're trying to figure out what they can move and what they can't.
They're trying to see what they can lift, if they can lift it, or they don't know that they're dead, and they're like, man, I'm thirsty.
I'm so thirsty. That's so sad.
Oh, man.
Or maybe they're like, it's like that comic strip where it's like, all the dishes are dirty, and they keep slamming all the cabinets, and people are freaking out. It's just a ghost that's upset that they have to do dishes.
So I tried to focus my eyes to see if what I saw was real. It moved again, and I hid under my blanket. I really had to pee, but nope. I just put my headphones in and went to sleep. I do that too if I don't want to get up, but I really have to pee. I will force myself to go back to sleep because I don't want to get up.
I suffer from the liar, liar curse because I saw that movie. And in that movie, Jim Carrey says that if you try and hold it, it'll make it very difficult to get an erection or even become aroused when you get older. And since then, I have always been like, if I gotta pee, I'm a pee. I swear to God.
I'm a pee. I'm a pee.
I think it every single time. I get up in the middle of the night if I kind of have to pee because I'm like, 1, that's not going to happen to me. And 2, I'm not going to pee the bed. Not happening to me again.
Okay. I don't know. I don't get erections, so that doesn't bother me. Anyway. I fell asleep. What?
No, keep going.
Were you going to have an erection joke?
No, it was an erection joke, and it wasn't going to be very good. So I edited it out of my brain so it wouldn't come out of my mouth.
All right. I fell asleep, and I was awakened by my roommate, Haley, who slept on the other bed on top. She told me to stop breathing hard. I told her that I was asleep, and then I heard the hard breathing, and we assumed it was Casey, who was sleeping on the bottom bunk. We woke her up and told her to try to not breathe so hard. And it wasn't her. We could still hear the breathing. Oh my gosh. Just imagine this. All of you are awake now. disembodied breathing.
You all hear the breathing, and it's none of you.
We were tripping out. We all covered our mouths, and you could still hear the breathing. But now it was coming from the doorway. It was the ghost that was trying to pick up the cup. It's like, dude, guys, why are you freaking out?
I'm so thirsty. Can't you hear me?
No one was standing there. So Casey was the brave one to get out of bed and run and close the door and turn on the lights. Saying this stuff happened in her house all the time. She is the one. She brought it.
I was going to say she brought it with her.
Oh, my Lanta. So then we all sat in Casey's bed, huddled up together. It was about 3:30 in the morning and the breathing stopped, but you can hear pacing outside the door and our drawers moving and closing. We texted our roommate Jackie in the room next to us, and she told us she heard someone crying. Initially,
it's like, no, that's just me. I'm really scared right now.
Initially, that was what woke up Haley. Then the breathing began. So Jackie joined us in the room, and when Casey went to open and close the door, she went pale. We were all in bed and saw all the color leave her face.
I'm sorry, reread that. I choked a little bit on my own spit.
I thought you were laughing. I was
No.
like, why the fuck are you laughing? Okay. Where did you cough?
I don't know. Just go back like 3 sentences.
Initially, that was what woke up Haley. Then the breathing began. So Jackie joined us in the room, and when Casey went to open and close the door, she went fucking pale. We were all in bed and saw all the color leave her face, and then she said in a low voice, "We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay, guys." She didn't want to tell us what she saw because it wouldn't help. So that's how we spent the remainder of the night till 7 a.m. when the sunrise appeared through our window. Hearing the cups move, the drawers, and the pacing outside, 4 people in one bed praying, and scared as fuck. The sun was up and everything stopped. We were safe, so Jackie left her door slightly opened because she didn't have her key card, and she was returning to her room. As she was returning to her room, the door closed. We all grabbed our shit and noped the fuck out. We all left the dorm, went to class, and come nighttime, we all slept in the same room, all 6 of us watching Zaboomafoom. LL, kidding. We watch Disney movies. Damn it.
Well, obviously you're kidding. Zaboomafoos not real.
Shut up. My friend Casey's mom came a day later with a Bible and some sage. She burned the sage and asked whatever it was to leave us alone because we needed to study. It's safe to say she saved our lives, sleep, and GPA.
That's good.
I have more stories, but I can email them at another time. Sorry it was a long email, but it was overdue. Love the potty and keep on creeping on. Potty meaning podcast. Love, Karina B. Thank you so much for that
really
story. It's a really
good.
good story. It must have been so scary that you hear all this stuff outside.
I am like just tripping my balls out that I didn't find out what this girl saw, what this woman saw when she opened this door where she went pale and was like, "We're gonna be fine," and let someone else in and then close the door.
I'm sure she was just like, I don't want this to follow you guys.
Please tell her to email us because I really
want
want
to
to know. No, email
No.
us. Send it to the Scaryish
No.
email.
I don't want to know.
I don't think it's transferable
No.
via email.
No.
I really want to know. And just put in the subject for Adam only.
The image of an angel is an angel.
I hate you. It's not Doctor Who rules. And they made that shit up later. Like, that didn't start like that. They just added it in. So, very, very curious as to what she saw. You don't have to send me a picture of it, like, obviously, but I'm very curious. And I think we all have an idea in our heads of what she saw. Something super effing creepy, but still, it's super interesting. I don't know how I would handle that situation. I'd like to think that I'd be the person that would get up and flip on the lights and close the door.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be, though. I'm just saying, like, that would be really, really fucking scary. Like, straight up. Like,
It
if
would
you
be
saw
really
something,
scary.
the moment you see something, when you realize, like, that's not normal, then you start thinking, like, how am I imagining this? Am I still sleeping? Did I see this? Is it a weird trick of the light? As soon as you see something that you know is 100% paranormal and doesn't make sense in, like, the world that you understand, you don't know how you're going to react. You might just wind up peeing your pants. So it's just one of those things where I'm very curious as to what she actually saw. So,
Yeah.
good
It was
stuff.
a good story.
It was a really good story.
It makes me never want to stay in a dorm. Wasn't there
Not all dorms are haunted, just saying.
So my brother and me had a TV show, right? And one of their episodes was they brought this haunted doll into a dorm room. And I imagine dorms to be places where spirits just exist because there's so much activity.
It wasn't actually haunted. They just bought something that was really creepy looking and tried to make it look really creepy, like to give it a background, like as if it were haunted.
It was crazy. Anyway, dorms freak me out. I'm good with not staying in them. I never had like that regular college experience, and I'm good without it.
Dorms, basements, darkness, children. There's a lot of stuff that freaks you out, but most of them are very understandable. So good stuff. Let's move over into the stream chat, see what you folks had to say. We didn't have a lot of YouTube chat over here during that story. It was a very good story, though.
Thank you, Queen Caffeine, for joining us. Captain Fake Eye says, heart to Adam's mom. Raisin Rebel says, thanks, Adam's mom. Everybody's thanking
Karen over
Linda.
on YouTube says, thank you, Adam's mom.
Okay, let's see.
Keegan says, hey, Adam and Robin, I would like to say that I know you two play Overwatch, so I'd like to get you to support my Open Division team. They gave us a link. I am currently not displayed on the website, and that's because I joined about a month ago, and they're still looking for more players. It's pretty awesome. It's really cool. I watch a lot of Overwatch League, so I will go to that website when we're off and see how I can support it. So that's awesome. Congratulations and good luck.
All right. Chelsea Cat put up a bunch of different podcast recs.
Karen says, that poor ghost just got locked out and is really thirsty.
Captain Fake Eye says, I'm not sure there's a medical reason for not peeing and not getting erections.
It's damage to your kidneys.
Glitchgrim says, don't do it, Adam.
If you hold your pee, you damage your kidneys from holding it, and damage to your kidneys can prevent you from getting erections later in life. That's what it is.
Interesting. And Ralph is not here tonight, unfortunately. We're missing Ralph and Miss Deezy and a couple other people. But yeah, I'm at the end of my chat.
Kat says, sounds like my dorm friends. We'd all cram into my and my roomie's dorm and play Zelda and The Sims. That's not scary, though. That does sound awesome, though. Kat says, apparently one of the older dorms at my school has a ghost cow. That's bizarre. And Carrie says, hi, guys. Great show. You both look great today. Thank you so much, Carrie, for joining us. We appreciate that.
I kind of look like a potato sack, but
no, you look good, and it's a NASA thing, and your hair looks amazing, and your makeup looks good.
Oh, thanks.
So good work today, Robin. And every day, really. So cool. That's everything that I have over in YouTube chat. So if you don't have anything else, I guess I can move on into my last one of the show.
Okay.
Cool. I'm not going to do that yet because Robin's doing something that I know I'm going to have to interrupt this for. So she just paid 50 souls to redeem and ask a question, and it's, why you so cute? She's clearly talking to herself, and it's because that's the way God made you.
Oh, no, I meant you.
You're very sweet. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
appreciate that. It's because I got a little bit of stubble going on today because I haven't shaved in like 5 days. So I'm going to move on to my last one of the show, and the subject is 3 long stories. So I think we all know what we're getting into, so that's a good thing.
Sounds like 3 long stories.
Yeah, I think so. It starts out like this. Hi, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. I first would like to say that whenever Robin has something red on, you can say, Red Robin, yum.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you for giving me that, because I'm going to use that probably for the rest of my and or her life. Found you on Spotify. Shout out to Spotify. And sorry if I'm childish. I'm a teen. And then it says in parentheses, dab. My name is Keegan, by the way, and I'm a male. I think Keegan might actually be watching us right now. Yep, Keegan was the one that's on the Overwatch League.
Nice.
You can share this on the podcast. I have 3 scary stories. My first story is about when me and my cousins were exploring woods near their house. The coincidence. My second story is the time when I had some sweet dreams during some hard times. The sweet story. And my third story is about the time I skipped school and almost got kidnapped. What the fuck? They let us know that they sent this story and we were allowed to read it, which is good. Because now we know that we're allowed to read this. So, goes on to say, story number 1. This was when I was about 9 years old. I thought you were going to sneeze. My cousins, in parentheses, the twin boys, and my older cousin, who's also a boy, just moved to a new town because their dad, my uncle, just got engaged to his girlfriend at the time and needed a bigger house. This was my first time spending the night at their new house. We all were just playing Black Ops 2. However, killing my cousins over and over can get boring. So I like that you just like toss out some shade right there. Yeah. It's like, God, killing you guys is so boring. So as it approached sunset, we all went downstairs to eat dinner. After this, we all went outside to the local woods to play airsoft. Nice. I used to play paintball, which I don't know if it's more painful or less painful, but it's always fun to shoot someone and not actually kill them.
I've never played any of these things. I had airsoft guns, multiple airsoft guns, but I only shot
at targets. Lame.
You're lame.
As we played, the night set in and we got deeper into the woods, and as it fell to night, we found a small cabin in the woods. We got creeped out.
Cabin in the woods.
That's what I thought of too. We got creeped out and went back to my cousin's house to get flashlights. As we did this, we watched YouTube videos that are, quote, scary-ish. This was about an hour of watching videos. It was now 9 at night, and my cousins go back to the woods to find the cabin. Next thing we know, we are trying to enter the cabin and the door is stuck. And us being about 13 to 8, we do not use our flashlights to see what was behind the door. This was a little fishing cabin next to a frozen river, about 1 meter by 1 meter. So this thing is tiny. This is basically like a shed. So, and 5 feet tall. We found an open, this is like an outhouse. We found an open window and I got all my older cousin's shoulders, and climbed through the window.
No.
I didn't turn my flashlight on and went over in the dark to the door where my cousins were hitting the door so I could walk over and open it. So you're just in this building by yourself and it's dark.
What if there was something bad in there? What if there was something horrible in there?
There is what feels like an old chair blocking the door. I move it and my cousins walk in with flashlights on. In parentheses, I have no brain. As we are exploring, we look around with the flashlights and there is a chair under a wire that is in a noose-style rope.
No. Nope.
This was when one of the twins screamed and yelled that there is human hair in this old oven. How is there an oven in this place?
No.
We all ran out, and then the lights to a house in the distance turned on, and we ran to a nearby hill and watched as an old man ran into the cabin with a gun. At the time, I was scared, but now that I look at it, it's more crazy. It's more like a crazy adventure book. That's just like some...
That's scary, though.
Yeah, that's like some shit where you're... This is just another My Favorite Murder, Don't Go Into the Woods thing, because it really seemed like... This sounds like a trap. Like, you guys are stumbling into some sort of an animal trap, but it seems at this point like this is just a trap set up for human beings that, I don't know, it's just like one of those things where you're going to capture a human and keep them. Well, not for long. That's super creepy. Okay, story number 2. At this time last year in December, so this was sent around December, I had no friends as I just started 7th grade. This is when in my city we start middle school. All my friends from elementary were in different classes or moved into different groups. I would get made fun of because I was an easy target. In parentheses, I'm thick with a bunch of C's.
Wow.
So this adds to me being a lone wolf. One person for a week would fuck with me and kick my chair. One day I got done and pushed his bitch ass to the ground. He doesn't talk to me anymore. I mean, sometimes you're going to stand up for yourself. Sooner or later, you're going to stand up for yourself.
When you stand up for yourself, people just...
leave you be.
Yeah. But
it's true.
Then that means if they cut you out of their life, they cut you out of their life. Not worth it.
I think this person wasn't even a friend. It was just someone who didn't even know them messing with them.
Okay.
But yeah, same thing when it comes to people you know. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself to them. The same thing happened to me again a month later. That's easy. Just hit them with your laptop. Sorry for the rant. I mean, laptops are expensive. Find something cheaper to hit them with. So I started to grow sad and get thoughts about killing myself.
Oh, dude.
Don't let those take hold. Push them out of your head. It gets better. You just got to ignore the assholes in life. The worst is when I started to get in fights with my family, who were the kindest people in the world. My stepfather just started talking about marriage, and I got scared and MAF. I don't know what MAF means.
Mad as fuck.
Mad as fuck. And started acting up like in the fights up above. This is when my dreams started. I would be standing on a ledge of a bridge, and all the people that I care about would walk by on the sidewalk and do nothing. This went on until I would be forced to sign up for wrestling, and the first day I met my new boyfriend/best friend.
Aww.
That is a day when an old man walking on the sidewalk that I never knew or saw walked over and helped me step down from the ledge and talk to me and help me sort through shit. In the morning, I felt light and more happy. I have no more thoughts about killing myself,
That's
and
awesome.
now I'm as happy as ever.
Yay.
That is really awesome. And here's the thing. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm 34. So I still remember. It's weird to think about it, but I'm almost at my 20-year mark for how long it's been since I graduated. I was thinking about that the other day.
Oh, man.
I'm old. So I still remember this shit, though. I still remember going through this stuff. I had really bad time in 7th grade. My grandfather also passed away when I was in 7th grade, and he was a very important figure in my life. Things do get better. They're always going to get better. And things are always going to work out. And they might not work out like you want them to or like you hope they will, but they will always work out. And I've mentioned it before on the show. And like when I was a kid, AOL Instant Messenger was just starting, and everyone had their like little profile where if you clicked About Me, you could like put like color text on colored background and have all these different things. So everyone had like quotes of their favorite things. And I had like a million quotes. And I started deleting them as I got older because I'm like, these don't apply anymore. Or these are silly, or these are stupid, or these are cliche. And the one that I left in there, and it probably, if AOL Instant Messenger still exists, my account's still active, it's probably still in there, there was one that I realized I thought about all the time. And it was just, if you're going through hell, keep going. And I just kind of shortened it the older I got to just keep going. And I still tell myself that when things are tough, keep going. And I have trained my mind where anytime I have like intrusive thoughts or really dark thoughts or just kind of want to give up, I just think keep going. And it's something that I would suggest you kind of find for yourself. It doesn't have to be that, but something that you kind of attach onto. Shout out to Andrew Wiley, who just subscribed over on YouTube. Thank you for joining us.
What is that Killer's lyric?
If you can't hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
That's why that's my favorite
really
song
like
by the
that
Killers.
song.
So yeah, I think about that one too. All right. So there's one more story on this email, and we're going to read it right now. This story makes me not able to go to sleep when I think about it. It's always a great way to start, and my email just jumped to the very bottom because apparently it doesn't want me to read it. It still makes me...
I'm kind of scared now.
It still makes me never walk down that road or that direction ever again. At this time, it was right before story number 2. Me and my mom's now husband were fighting because I just stayed up all night gaming, #Overwatch. I got mad and decided that I was either skipping school or running away from home. Excuse me.
You okay there?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Does your nose have hiccup?
No, it was just my throat that had hiccup. It just came through my nose. Okay, so they're thinking about running away from home. What's funny is we just did this Never Have I Ever game, which is a card game. It wasn't the actual Never Have I Ever. And one of the cards was ran away from home. And everyone just kind of like, no. And I was like, I got like 2 houses away. And I was just like, but I'm hungry. And then, we had someone at the table who's actually run away from home before where they're like, oh yeah, I ran away like states away with an ocean between. So don't do that unless like you're in a really horrible toxic situation. Like try and work it out. In parentheses, it says skip school with... I tried to make it anonymous, but whatever. Skip school with a friend or don't. And also don't run away from home because your parents love you. Weird word, right? Love. Okay. I took my phone chip out with a paperclip and walked out of school before first period started. So this is straight up like you're going off the grid because you took the thing that they can track your phone with. I walked downtown and my plan was to go to McDonald's and get some water and then walk down to the woods and live off the land. As I was thinking about this, I crossed the highway next to my school and entered a big neighborhood. At this time, a car turns off the highway and onto the road I'm on and drove down the street a ways. In parentheses, this is a spooky car. I put in my earbuds and listened to some My Chemical Romance.
Yee.
15 minutes go by and I walk by the car and I think nothing of it. I am now 2 blocks past the car and I see the car go past me. So it's like they drove past again. I am now halfway to McDonald's and there's no point going back to the school and getting in trouble. And then it says YOLO and sorry for bad spelling. Took a break here to get my stuffed seal from SeaWorld because I'm sweating and spooked. So, okay, so they literally stopped while writing the story to go and get themselves like their stuffed animal. I walk some more about 1 or 2 blocks and then I start to look around for this car again. I spot it up ahead and then turn off my sound to listen to see if the car follows me. It doesn't do that. He rolls down his window and hops over the center console, in parentheses, desperate. This is all I know of his voice. I'm not looking at a pedo, so they didn't turn to look at this person. They just heard them. But what he said was, where are you going, in a flirty voice. And after
That's
this,
super duper creepy, dude.
I walked past his car and in a mad voice he states, where are you going? And then he gets out of the car and I started to run. He ran after me and then this is when I remembered that I'm going to McDonald's. I looked around frantically and spot McDonald's and I start to run, cutting through someone's yard. This is when I came back to reality, you know what I mean, Robin, and start to hear a construction worker working on a roof. And I heard the man's car go away. I now put this in my brain folder, titled as fake news. After listening to your podcast, I asked my boyfriend to walk down to the yard I cut through and talk to the owner. And he said that he was getting his roof repaired during that time. So there was a construction worker there. Then apparently this person just bailed after that. Thanks for reading the story and sorry for the bad grammar. I'm typing on my phone and in the car. Thanks again and shout out to Spotify. Feel free to share this on the podcast. Have a good day listening to the podcast when writing this.
The idea of getting kidnapped freaks me out because it happens. There are people out there that see someone walking alone and decide, oh, hey, you're by yourself.
Yeah, you're by yourself. You're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like there's a video of some girl that little girl, like middle school age at the oldest walking to school and someone's Ring camera caught it. And she's like walking down this block and there's a car that's like slowly creeping behind her. And she gets to a car that's parked. And as the car tries to pass her, she like crouches down and hides behind it. The car goes past and stops. The guy gets out and looks around and she makes sure to like always keep a car between her and the guy while he's searching for her. And then he just gets in his car and drives away because another car is coming. And it's like, this is a person that was clearly following this little girl that they didn't know at all. And it's just something important to think, because we do have young listeners, obviously, because this person wrote in. And it's like, always keep that in mind. Like, you think it's not going to be you. And I know you hear that from old people. Like, I'm 34, I'm not that old. But you always think it's not going to be you until it is you. So it's like, it is much better to have like a strategy in your brain for how you would handle that situation, and also the idea of how to avoid it, versus like, it's never going to happen to me, and then you just blindly walk right into that. You know what I mean? So if I can say anything about those 3 stories, don't get kidnapped, and never go into a place that's super dark without your flashlight, especially if you're going to go Scooby-Dooing and doing stupid shit as a kid, which I think we all did.
I think you need to
be
check
careful
it out
about
before
it.
you just shove yourself in there.
Yeah, be a little bit more careful and make sure that doesn't happen, and always at least respect yourself enough to know that everything's going to work out sooner or later. And like, you don't need to internalize this stuff when clearly there's a lot of crazy shit happening in the external world. So thank you for sending that. We really appreciate it. Let's look over in stream chat and see what you folks had to say.
All I got are some shout outs to Spooky Mom, and it's your turn.
Well, I'm going to scroll up.
You scroll, girl. You scroll.
Karen says, yeah, you look smexy. And then Kat says, what she said. And Kat says, oh my God, you two are too cute. Karen says, why you so cute? CYOOT. Karen says, I'm afraid to shoot anything because I'm uncoordinated in every sense of the word. I would most likely hurt myself or someone around me. If you're that aware of the fact that you're that uncoordinated, probably best to not shoot something. Kat says, paintball is fun, though, and laser tag.
Laser tag is fun.
Laser tag is a really good thing you can do where you're not going to get hurt.
I'm just not good at it. My sister is much better at it, but probably because she goes more often than I do. But I have no idea what to hit with the laser thing.
Yeah, someone has to tell you where to shoot, and often they don't tell you. They're like, here's your gun.
At this laser place that my sister and I went to, they had these targets on either end, like you had a base, right? And if the other team gets
I'm
to
all
your
about
base,
that base.
If the other team gets to your base, they can shoot at the certain target at your base.
So they don't even need to shoot you.
They don't have to shoot you. They can get to your base and shoot your base a whole bunch and get a whole bunch of points that way.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
So it was very strange.
Karen says, it sounds like a Hansel and Gretel scenario. You walk into the creepy house, you make a noise, an old man with a gun kills you, puts your body in the oven, then cooks you and eats you.
Oh my God.
I was thinking it was literally going to be one of those situations where they take you and they tie you up and they keep you in their basement. Keegan says, then me and my boyfriend broke up because he was not into men. He also was very toxic. Now I have a non-toxic girlfriend. That's good.
Oh, cute.
Toxicity is the worst thing regardless of like what kind of person you have in your life. If they're toxic, it will not work out. It straight up will not. And good about your new partner, says Karen. So what else do I have? I'm getting to the end of it. Cat Beatrix says, sweep the knees, run away screaming, maybe apologize later. That's hilarious. Keegan's taking off for the night, says, well, good night. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you joining us. And that's everything that I have. So we only have one story left, and then we'll move over into Marbles on Stream.
So this one is from Holly, and the subject is more of my mom's scary stories.
I always love getting the parent scary stories in here. Yeah. They're so good.
It begins. Hey, Holly here from the story about the ghost on my stairs and in the house my mom saw and didn't tell us about.
I remember those. Also, hey.
FYI, Robin, the ghost totally walked back down the stairs into the darkness, which made the whole thing 10 times scarier.
That is scarier.
It's like ghosts know how to freak you out. They go through time, like, perfecting their fear
If you have
factor.
eternity to creep someone out, you just get really good at it. And especially if it's just something like, just stand there. Okay, now walk backwards. Nailed it. Like, you're not really putting in a whole lot of effort.
Maybe it's just like Monsters, Inc., where they have to get enough screams.
Like they have a quota?
Yeah, they have a quota. And so they need to scare as many people as possible.
I'm sure it's exactly like that. That's exactly what the afterlife is like.
And places that are like Einfeld Ghost, maybe not that one particular, but places that are really, really, really haunted that get a whole lot of people scared, or where they put their A+ ghosts, where they're just like, you're the best ghost, you guys can go here, get all the screams. Anyway.
That's the big leagues.
The big leagues. Anyway, another story I have is when my mom visited this ghost tour thing at this old castle near us. Castles are always just ghost central, I feel like. I'm from the south of England, so when I say old castle, I mean an old one from the 1400s kind of old. Anyway, there was this whole tour that they did, and they ended the night on the seance, where there were 3 spirits present. The first was a little girl who was playful but was scared of someone else, but wouldn't give the name of who they were scared of. The second one was a woman who was killed by her husband, and Mom said that she was just answering the questions they asked without any further info or anything. This is through a Ouija board. And then the final spirit overpowers everyone, including the 2 mediums in the room, and starts communicating through the medium. And the voice that came out of this woman was so frightening, she got goosebumps all over her body. She described the voice as almost dripping with fake charm. And this was the man that had killed his wife.
Wow.
Dripping
with fake charm. Like, I think everyone hears a voice in their head, and it's just about whoever you've met that's fake as fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, Mom says the whole mood changed and no one wanted to talk really. And this voice is challenging them all and asking why they don't want to talk to him. And then my mom felt a hand slide across her neck and up into her hair. It's hard to explain properly, but like it was in her hair and massaging her head. She stood up and left the room without saying a word to anyone and refused to go back in. Like I said before, my mom's always been very in touch with spirits, but has not had many negative experiences. But this ranks in her top 10 worst ones. Thanks for reading.
Top 10? How many horrible experiences does she have?
Thanks for reading again and being an outlet to which I can tell these stories without being told point blank that I'm a liar and ghosts aren't real. Keep on creeping on, Holly. Insert sunglasses emoji here.
That's hilarious. I will say, I don't know if this works for ghosts, but I had a friend, and I guess I'm still friends with him, but he was like, you know, he thought of himself as a ladies' man, so he'd always hit on chicks and stuff. And I had a party once, and there was this chick there that I knew, and she was really sick, and she was throwing up in my sink. And I was just like, God damn it, like, I'm going to have to clean this. And while she's throwing up, my friend came up, and, like, it's like he noticed she was drunk, so he decided he was going to hit on her thinking she was vulnerable. And he put his hand up her shirt and started scratching her back. And she looked at him, she said, so-and-so, like, take your fucking hands off me, in like this dead serious voice. And they're like, oh, I always like to get my back scratched when I don't feel well, and then walked away. And that was the end of it. And I remember seeing that and being like, nice, like, way to tell him to fuck right off. And when I was hearing about this ghost like running their hand up this lady's head, I was like, I know someone who wouldn't put up with that shit, regardless of whether or not you're a real person or a dead person.
That's
they'd be like,
creepy, though.
Get your fucking hands off me.
It's
flat
just,
out.
I feel like it could have been the guy that killed his wife and kid, because maybe he's like, let me feel up this other chick type thing.
What's really creepy about it is that this person like took over the medium and was talking through them. That's like straight up like ghost possession shit, you know? And then if you were also able to affect someone like that while possessing someone, where it's not like the medium's hand, but like you still feel something like that, like that's just like, just stay the hell out of that place, you know? Burn it to the ground and then salt the earth in like whatever circle you need to trap a ghost there.
I don't know if you can necessarily burn
shit,
it.
I forgot about that.
Those things are like,
let us know what castle it is so that we can visit the UK and go there. I mean, not go there.
I'm not. Yeah, I was gonna say.
She's not gonna go there. I'm very curious what castle it was, though, so I can do some research on it and see if there's other shit that's happening.
I would love to go to a castle one day. Maybe go to Ireland or something like that. Hang out in England, check out a couple castles. But I don't want any ghosts.
That's funny.
I'm good with the no seance thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any seances. Like, keep that shit away from me. Keep your candles.
No Ouija boards.
Keep your candles, keep your pentagrams, keep your Ouija board. I don't want anything to do with that. I just want to check out the really fancy old places.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that sounds like a scary thing to happen to
no
someone,
shit. I'd be freaked. I would be completely freaked
out.
out.
Your mom is a very brave
And when
person.
they're like, that raised in the top 10, it's like, send us the other 9. Jesus.
Right?
Like, that's some creepy shit. All right. So let's look over into stream chat one last time, and then we'll go ahead and move into Marbles on Stream to end the night.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of stuff.
What are those bits? They look like a bunch of people's heads.
They do look like a bunch of people's heads. I don't know whose heads they are.
Okay.
But you can ask feedback because they're the ones that chose them. And then Kat says, I'm always suspicious of charming men. Probably a good thing. Karen says, that fake charm ghosty be creeping on the mom. And she also says, oh my God, it's fake Prince Charming because it's in a creepy castle.
Oh my God.
That is hilarious.
Valley Grill says, I almost got kidnapped from a Mystic Pizza when I was 12.
Send
trust
that
your
story.
Gut. Linda says, no trouble.
Because I said all about that base.
Raisin Rebel says, parent stories are so good because they've been through it. And the Snark says, trap them in a circle.
Exactly.
Need that salt. Didn't we read a story about someone using salt and then their parents were
I think it was Alicia on Facebook straight up said that their kid is not allowed to use salt anymore because they thought one of their toys was possessed, so they dumped salt into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand that you just don't want to deal with that stuff as a parent, but that's a pretty fucking smart kid right there. It's like, oh, there's a ghost in here. Let me kill it really fast.
Let me get my
salt.
shotgun, pour some salt into it, and shoot it. But
Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got. No, I'm really scared of getting kidnapped. I think that's a really big fear. I've been around pedos before, and it's not fun. And
I hope I haven't been around pedos before.
Me too.
It's like, what does that mean? You just said you have been, then you're saying me too.
No, I just hope you never have been.
Oh,
it's not fun. It's not fun. And yeah, so no, people that follow kids around and try to kidnap them, that's scary.
Yeah. It's disgusting and super creepy and vile.
Always trust your gut. Don't let strangers get away with things. Be that person who's like, get your hands off me.
Don't be talked into anything. That's what it always comes down to for me is like, don't let anyone talk you into anything. If your instinct is, I don't want to do this, like, I don't care like how good it sounds or how pretty of a picture they can paint. I'm just like, it just, whatever the case may be, just don't get talked into anything, you know? If it's your decision, it's your decision. If they're trying to convince you it's your decision, there's something wrong there. Right. Doesn't matter if you're buying a car, getting candy from a van. It applies to all situations in life. Don't let anyone talk you into anything. If your decision is, I should get into that van because I love candy, you're probably dumb, and you should just not do that. Let's be real. I'm just saying, like, if your decision is to do the bad thing,
what about all those events like at E3 and stuff where it's just all these people piling into these vans run by strangers? What
events are you talking? Okay. What events did you go to at E3?
So my sister did this thing at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was a bus, right? It was a bus run by Sci-Fi or whatever, the TV channel, Sci-Fi. And they just pile all these people onto this bus and take them around, and you just trust this stranger.
It's a bit different if it's like an actual bus that's branded with something that you know is a big thing.
I'll brand a
versus something that says like grape on the side and the G is in a different color than the rest of it because that's clearly not a grape van. That's a reference to Workaholics.
Oh.
All right. So anyone who is in YouTube that would like to join us for Marbles on Stream, switch over right now to twitch.tv/Scaryish podcast because we're about to get started with Marbles on Stream.
The Snark says, whenever someone sells soccer chocolates at work, nope.
I'm like, get your Girl Scout cookies out of here. Get them out of my face.
There's a lot of places out here in Vegas sometimes will have kids that are outside of random stores like Hobby Lobby or Smith's or something that are like, hey, can you buy these chocolate bars to support our football team and stuff like that. But if you were really doing it for your football team, you'd have a whole big bunch of marketing for it, you know?
Not really. I've been one of those kids who was given a box of chocolate that basically looks like just cheap shit, and it's like, sell these and bring it back or you can't go on the field trip. So like, I empathize with those kids a lot more than you do, I think.
But they're like boxes that you'd get from Costco, like just a box of chocolate bars. For me, when I've sold chocolate bars in middle school, they had a big like marketed like graphic art all over the front of a giant box.
Yeah, because you went to a better school than a lot of us did. All right, for those of you who are in Twitch right now, some of you are already doing it. Type !vote, a space, and then the number that corresponds to the track that you would like to race, and we will get this thing going.
I did go to private school, so that might be why.
There you go. I went to a school where like the fanciest chocolate I ever got to sell was wrapped in nothing but just a plain white wrapper because like they just didn't sell like the brand name chocolate. After that, it was probably cheaper to sell stuff that wasn't like brand name.
Oh, yeah. I sold brand name chocolate bars as a middle schooler. I also bought many of my own because I love chocolate. Well, no, I take that back. I don't love chocolate. I love Reese's and Twix.
You love specific chocolate.
I love specific chocolate bars.
All right. Looks like Hannah Kiwi over there did vote _39. I think you might not be able to get that to work with the underscore, but I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know. We'll check and see. No, there's no 39 vote. Oh, no, there's two of them. Never mind. I lied. So we'll give it a little bit more. We'll see which one comes out on top. Right now, Devil's Chaos is in the lead, which is a pretty solid name for a Scaryish podcast to race. And we have, looks like 20 people over in Twitch right now. So we'll see how many marbles we're able to get into the stream. I'll wait about 20 more seconds and we're going to go with Devil's Chaos.
Yeah, so !vote, space, and the number of the track that you would like to race.
There you go.
And if you're on YouTube, switch over to twitch.tv/Scaryish podcast so you can join, because the winners for each race that we do every week gets some Scaryish sticker or something of the sort. So if you want one of those, please join us. It's free. You win free swag. Free Scaryish swag. Swag.
Okay, we're going to go with Devil's Chaos for this first race because it is in the lead for the votes. And then once we get in here, just type !play and get yourself a marble to represent you and see if you can win some free stuff.
And while everyone is joining the race here, I will remind everyone that if you have an Amazon Prime account and you have a Twitch account, Twitch is free, by the way, you can join the two. If you go to twitch.amazon.com, they have this thing called Amazon Twitch Prime. And you guys get a free subscription to whatever Twitch channel that you want every 30 days, which is great. And it's something that Amazon gives you. It's free. And if you don't use it, it's a $5 wasted. So if you want
$5 free of Amazon's money that you did not spend.
Yes. So if you would like to support us and have Amazon Prime, please link your Twitch, link your Amazon together, and give us your Amazon Prime subscription.
So, if you would like to join the race, type in !play or write meow into the chat and get yourself a marble. We only have 11 marbles, which is the lowest we've ever had. So, this is your best chance ever to win yourself some merch. So, go ahead and jump in with !play, and we're going to get going here in about 35-40 seconds. I'm just saying that out loud because I felt like it. And it looks like Glitch actually holds the record for 2 minutes and 14 seconds to finish this track. We'll see how long it takes for this current person to finish.
Cat Beatrix is like, I'm all about using the uber rich's money.
Seriously, Jeff Bezos, until his divorce, was the richest person on the planet. Spend 5 of his dollar dues. Seriously, he's giving them to you to spend. So.
Also, I don't know if you guys can see, but I have added new emotes. I've added new emotes to different subscription tiers. So if you look under all paid tiers, I think tier 2 has a new emote and tier 3 has a new, you get 2 new emotes. So check it out. I mean, I know some of you might not be all about getting that big, super spooky sub, but I really like the new emote I made. Oh, snap.
I see the hashtag buy just popped up. Nice.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I just made those. All these emotes I make. So,
all right, I'm going to go ahead and get this race started. We have 13 marbles in right now, so you have 10 seconds from when I click it to join in and try and get yourself some free loot. So here we go. 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, you're about to do
the thing.
Talking about the marbles thing.
I mean, you can continue talking. I just want to make sure that we're actually doing this. And away we go. So Glitch is jumping out to an early lead, but realistically, it's kind of hard to get a lead that quickly in this. But let's go ahead and look over here and see what's going on. Allbrain is basically where everyone else is. Looks like Raisin Rebels and Jaxie Babe is taking a lead as well. And Raisin Rebel got that boost. Getting through the fan blades is going to be the big thing. The fan blades are a bitch.
So are you, but you know, what ifs.
I will domestic violence you, I swear. Valley Grills, Abe's Monster, and Raisin Rebel, that's just a joke. She would kill me. Are now the 3 people in the lead, and Abe's Monster has gotten through this swirly thing pretty easily. So hopefully you don't die. I don't remember if this is one where you die a lot or if this is one where like everyone survives and it's really just a race to the finish. There is a lot of funnels in this. Whoever made this track loves funnels.
Sounds so fun, Noel.
I knew it. I knew you were going to have a horrible pun to throw out here to haunt everyone. All right, we haven't lost anyone yet, but we're coming up on some pulsating rods and a tube, so we'll see what happens.
Pulsating rods and a tube.
Abe's Monster almost died, but survived. You're going through the washer right now, and you have survived, so we're going to let you keep on creeping on and see if you wind up at the end. Holy shit.
Oh, my goodness.
This track is super complicated. You somehow survived that jump. We're going to look back and see if anyone back there dies. Here comes Raisin Rebel. Aww. Did not make it. Raisin Rebel is our first casualty. Abe's Monster is still in the lead. Jaxie Babe is now flying through the air. Jaxie Babe has survived. Allbrain has not. We have Hanakiwi who has survived. A lot of other people are making it over and surviving. Glitch just... Oh, that's why Glitch won this, is because he circumvented a bunch of stuff because he shot through I Have Died, which is horseshit. We're starting this over. And it looks like Abe's Monster right now is on pace to set a record for the fastest run this track has ever had. from our watchers, listeners. No, you guys are watching. From our watchers,
watching/listening,
viewers, whatever you folks are called.
Friends.
Cat Beatrix has now perished as well. Abe's Monster is in good shape, but this fan blade is going to mess you up right now, so we'll see if someone can catch up.
Oh my god.
That is how Glitch Grim. That is the Ghost Ball. Spooky Flea has made it through. I think Spooky Flea. Yep, you just took first place. Congratulations, Spooky Flea. You have won. Second place is the Snarked. Jaxie Babe is still back there trying to make it through. We'll see how long that takes and who can take third place. I think Valley Grills might be coming up. Yep, here comes Valley Grills to take third place. We only have 5 balls left. Chessie Cat, Abe's Monster, Hanakiwi, Robin Grace, and then Jaxie Babe is going to be 8th if you can make it through. And that is how the rest of this will play out. So Spooky Flea, let us know.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
I hate you so much.
So Spooky Flea, if you could email us Scaryish at, or what's the email?
Storytime@scaryish.com. And let us know where we can send this, and if you've already gotten some merch and you've seen some stuff that we already have.
Let me know which sticker you're interested in or which couple that you're interested in so I can see what we have left. Because I've run out of the Patreon exclusive ones that I sent out this past month. Those are all gone. And then I still have the rainbow ones. The main...
The spring one.
Yeah, the spring ones. But the special one that I sent out in between the seasons is gone. I've run out of those. So
go ahead and vote if you would like to race again. Actually, you don't have to vote if you like to race, but if you want to pick the track right now, type in !vote space then the number that corresponds to your track. If we wind up tying, then Spooky Flea will take whichever track they choose, because the winner gets their own little box up there. It says Spooky Flea because they're the winner. They've chosen Coils of Power. That's what I chose also, so it's now in first place. And let those ones come in.
What was I talking about now? I've already forgotten.
You were talking about the logos. You just got done talking about the spring ones. You were talking about the in-between ones.
Before
that,
the
I
end of the race.
I have no idea.
Oh, Loud. Oh, man.
There's currently a tie between Coils of Power, Express Delivery, and I think one more track.
I've forgotten.
Can't keep track. You talk about a lot of stuff.
Shut up.
You bounce around a lot, so it's hard for me to follow.
Oh, no. Yes. About the emotes. So,
yes,
we have 3 different tiers, right? So we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And tier 1 is the regular $5 subscription. And you guys get a couple emotes there. I think we have 2 emotes available right now. It's the regular why though. And then we have the #buy. That's the new one if you guys want to test it out. And then tier 2, I've added the little love ghost with the hearts and stuff like that.
The hearts for the eyes.
And that's $10 for a subscription for that. Sorry, this is like me talking all Twitch stuff. But then tier 3 is $25, but you get all those emotes. And then I made like for summer, it's just this ghost with sunglasses and it says cool. And I really like it. So you guys can take a look at that. If you guys go look at the top with the little crown for subscribing, you can just take a look at all the different tiers that we have and check out the emotes because I think they're cute and I make them. So love me.
So we're going to go, everyone loves you. We're going to go with Express Delivery because I think it has way more votes than Coils of Power does. I know it has 5. I think Coils of Power is still stuck at 2 or 3. So Express Delivery will be our second and final track of the evening. So once this loads, type in !play and get your marble added in. We have not raced this one before as a group, and it looks kind of terrifying. It looks like an octopus. So !play, and let's see who can take the track. Who can take the win, I should say. Or the track record. That would work too. All right. We have 11 marbles in. Last race we had 13. Let's try and get back to 13. Maybe even go for 14 or 15. That'd be really nice. We're up to 12, which means we're just missing one person. Valley Grills is now in, so we're up to 13. So we have as many as we had last time. That's always nice to see. And it is one of the lowest races that we've had in a long time, so it is a good chance to win. So just saying, and Robin and I are involved, and we won't collect the prize. We're up to 15. That's pretty nice. Nate and C, since I pretty much missed everything, I'm a head out. Bye-bye. Going to play Dauntless. Thank you for joining us for a brief moment, Nate and C. It's nice to see you. All right, we have 15 people in. I'm going to give it about 20 more seconds, then click start. So anyone who's still out there who would like to join, please do so. Otherwise, we're going to get going.
15. It's not bad.
15's good. We had 13 last time. We caught 2 more. It's like 24, 25 people in there. So good stuff. Gonna click start countdown. You have 10 seconds from now to get your marble in by typing in !play. This one looks weird, man. I wonder how it's gonna start. Is everyone gonna get shot up into this thing? Yeah. Everyone's like floating up to try and make it in. I've made it through. A couple other people have made it through. Looks like I'm in the lead, which is awesome. I think we're all rooting for me. I think Glitch Grim is actually in the lead. Yep, Glitch Grim is in the lead. Congratulations. I'm right behind Spooky Flea, Jaxie Babe, Meadows, the Snarked, Amanda, Cat Beatrix, Hana Kiwi, Chessie Cat, everyone else. But Glitch is number 1 right now. What the hell are we coming up on? Are these portals? Spooky Flea says this looks like a food processor. I hate the rods that slow you down. I want a track that just has nothing but stuff to accelerate you, because I just think that they're much more fun. Glitch Grim took a perfect line through that, and you did not go into any of the portals right there, which might be shortcuts. Doing pretty well getting through this track. If you make it past this fan blade, I think Glitch Grim might be way in the lead, as long as you don't get shot off by these pulsating rods. Yeah, it's just a really good line you're taking through here. I think you're going to set the record. Not the world record. That was 52 seconds, which is like super quick.
How is that even possible?
Probably because they just went straight through and didn't run into anything.
It's not possible.
I hate you so much. The Robin Grace has died, so we can all breathe a sigh of relief that she is gone.
I still have a lot of points. Don't care.
You really do, too. I think unless someone has some sort of miracle portal that teleports them to the end, Glitch Grim has run away with this thing. Michael Meadows has died. And splitting the track, and it's going to finish out with Glitch Grim in first place. And congratulations, buddy.
Jaxie Babe, we're very happy your boyfriend liked the stickers. I just mailed out the last couple weeks of rewards today, and some Patreon rewards, as well as some Etsy orders. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, we do have a stream store. So if you go to our store down at the bottom in our description here, anything you buy, it'll show onto the screen and stuff like that, or you could just buy it offline. Doesn't really matter. But our Streamlabs store has a bunch of designs that are exclusive to the Streamlabs store that aren't available in the Teespring store. So if you want to check that out, it's in the description section. We have merch, so we'd love it if you supported us.
And Glitch, hit us up and let us know which design you want, because I don't think that you've won. You said first win this season, and this season started, I think, in like April or March. Yeah. So let us know if any of the new ones tickle your fancy, and we will send it your way.
Yeah.
And also refresh us on your address, because we can dig through our emails, but it's easier just to send us an email and let us know what you prefer and where to send it.
And if you folks haven't yet, please go to our website. There's a link to my Etsy store. My Etsy store has all the stuff that I make that I get here. It's not one of those Teespring-like stores where you order it and they make it and then they send it out. All this stuff I have here, and then I package it all up by hand and label it by hand and do everything by hand, and then I mail it out. I literally drive to the post office and drop it in a little blue box. But yeah, so if you guys could support us, go to Scaryish.com. There's the Etsy link on there. But if you guys just want all our t-shirts and stuff like that, we have a shop on our website. So Scaryish.com, go to our online store there, and all our shirts, mugs, pillows, blankets we have now, all that stuff is on there. So check it out and pick up some Scaryish swag. It's awesome.
Indeed. It's a lot of stuff. That would have been a good promo for the episode. But maybe I'll try and edit that in. So shout out to Glitch, who took first win of the season. You're now up to 18 points. The Snark has 28 points. Robin wasn't kidding when she said she had a lot of points this season. She's at 30, which is way too many. I hope I can steal some from her. I'm at 21, so is Abe's Monster. And then there's some people floating around in the high teens, along with Cat Beatrix, who's at 18. And then everyone that's in single digits can probably still catch up, because we have at least 2 more shows.
The only one that could possibly touch me is the Snarked.
Probably.
28.
Unless I win a whole bunch, which would be Mary Zaring. So yeah, that is everything for Marbles on stream. So I'm going to move us over to the normal camera and close this program out. And then Robin can vamp it up for a little while.
Vamp. That's where I should have put all the goodies at. With the merch.
The vamp?
But, no, the merch stuff. So I know we talk about a lot of merch and Patreon and all that fun stuff, but we really couldn't do this without all of you guys that come and watch us every single week and hang out with us, and those of you that send in your stories and all that fun stuff.
Because realistically, like, we used to do this show off the air. You know, we didn't record the live shows. We started doing it because people used to talk about, like, wanting to, like, have live shows, and this is just easier than us trying to book a venue and you trying to, like, fly out here and buy tickets and stuff like that. And it's really fun to do, and the interaction is super fun. And like Robin said, we couldn't do it without you. It looks like we got followed by the Hamburglar 86 while we were doing the Marbles on stream. So thank you so much for following us. You. And shout out to the Robin Grace who's sitting right there for doing a Twitch shout out that says Adam does hot things. So
yeah, he does.
Thank you. Like, you know, streaming with no pants.
I have
apparently.
like over 2,000 souls, and I gotta use them. So I'm just making you.
I'm never in the stream to earn the souls to redeem them. So I think it's funny that you have all these souls that you're like, I'm gonna start spending them right now. But yeah, just one more time, thank you so much to everyone who watched, and then we're just going to go into the regular outro stuff. So thank you to everyone who sent your stories. Yes. We truly appreciate you. If you have a story you would like to send us, email storytime@scaryish.com. You can message us a bunch of different places. Facebook is facebook.com/scariyishpodcast. Message us there. Twitter is @scariyishpod. Instagram is @scariyishpodcast. Most importantly, you can go to scarish.com, which is our website. Click on contact us, fill out that form, and it comes directly to us. Almost all 5 of the 6 emails that we read to you tonight came from the contact us button, because a lot of people don't have social media. A lot of people don't, you know, want to send out from their personal account for whatever reasons, especially if it's something that's coming anonymous. So feel free to use that. And if you want to send us something that you don't want read on the show, but you're just trying to communicate because something creepy happened and you don't think people are going to believe you, we get a lot of those. Send them our way. We'll respond to you. Sometimes it might take us a little bit because we'll see something come in, and if it's not in the subject or at the top of the email where it says, don't share this, I just want to talk to someone, we don't know because we just assume that it's a normal email that we're going to read for the first time on the show. So we will get to them, though, and we appreciate every single one that we get. We appreciate all of you folks. If you want to join our Discord or our Scaryish Spooky Friends group over on Facebook, you can by going to facebook.com/scariyishpodcast and clicking groups. Or you can go to scarish.com, scroll down, and there's links to all of our social medias, including our Discord. And you can just click that, and you're right in our server. And
yep, we have Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, there's like 240 people, I think, right now in the Discord. It's a very active community. There's so many memes, and it's so nice to have a place I can go to and like send memes to my friends. We have a channel for Game of Thrones, which we're probably going to close at this point because Game of Thrones is over.
Yeah.
We have one for Haunting of Hill House, and we have just a bunch of different stuff. General mental health chat, which is us just bitching to each other because none of us are mental health professionals. We have an artist alley where people share their stuff, and it's a really great community, and we have you folks to thank for that, and we really, really appreciate it. A lot of people ask us how they can support us. I want to point out before we do the merchandise, or not the merchandise, but the money plug, basically, that the best way to support us is just to listen. And if you want to come out to a live show, Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, those are free. You know, youtube.com/Scaryish or twitch.tv/ScariyishPodcast. It's a really fun time, and leaving a rating or a review or telling a friend about the podcast, that helps us so much. But for those of you who are looking to donate with moolah, Robin, how can they do that?
So you can go to patreon.com/ScariyishPodcast, and those are monthly donations. We have a whole bunch of different tiers. In a couple months, I'll be sending out the summer badges and stickers that I will be making. And then we have tiers from $1, so you could donate from $1 and up. It's really... let us be your coffee, or let us be your candy bar. Speaking of coffee, we have a coffee, ko-fi.com/ScariyishPodcast. I haven't been practicing that. I'm just so
You found
good.
yourself a really good transition?
Yeah. And so ko-fi.com/ScariyishPodcast. And those are one-time donations. All those donations will help us upgrade our studio setup. If you guys have watched us on YouTube from the beginning of when we started doing these live streams, you'll notice we went from GoPro to regular camera with much better lighting. And it's all because of you guys. Thank you.
Not perfect lighting.
So
we
much.
still have shadows behind us, and the backlighting is going to help that.
It.
We had backlighting picked out, and then we had to spend it on something else, namely this trip to San Jose, which I'm super excited about. But that said, like Robin said, there's all these places that you can go to donate. Every little bit helps, and you can literally see the difference in our lives that you've made, and we truly appreciate it. But that said, someone over there said thoughts on Game of Thrones before we close the channel. That's in the stream chat. I have considered posting my thoughts on our YouTube channel. It's just not very Scaryish oriented, so
you should just post it on the Movie Pod.
I'll probably post it on the Movie Pod stuff. We don't really have a whole lot of stuff on there yet, so that'd be a good place. But it's literally just going to be me talking about what I thought about the end of Game of Thrones, as if anyone cares. So for those of you who might care, I might post that and share it with you, and we'll see, because the Movie Pod is actually a thing that's going to be releasing. I know we've said it a whole bunch. We've had to put it on hold for a bunch of different life reasons. But yeah, we have some time. The summer is now here. Robin doesn't have to worry about school and work. Now she just has to worry about working a whole bunch. But that said, we're very excited for all these opportunities that we've been given, because you folks have been so wonderful to us. And we want to return the favor by giving you folks as much content as possible.
Yeah, and remember, we are going to the Winchester Mansion on June 9th. So if you're in the area, or if you want to book plane tickets and hotel and stuff in the area, we're going to be there June 9th. We're going on the noon tour, so 12 p.m., and it's just the basic tour, and we're just going to hang out. We're probably going to go get food, drinks, whatever, and it'll be fun to meet a whole bunch of our spooky friends. It'll be cool.
We're excited. So thank you to all of you who watched us live. Thank you to all of us who listened to. Thank you to all of you who listened to us on the podcast version, and that's everything we have for episode 68.
Yep.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I know everyone's thinking it. We're almost at the sex number again. Storytime next week will be episode 69, which means I'll have one crass joke. Robin will act shocked, and then I won't say anything for the rest of the episode.
Jesus, okay.
So, Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.